Imagine a typical gaming headset. Take that image, light a match, and blow it up. That's what we did to create Arctis. We challenged everything to create our new gaming headsets. We added our award-winning speakers found in $300 headsets to every model in the Arctis line. And our new Clearcast mic? It's so good, we used it to record this video. We invented new athletics-inspired airweave fabric, the most comfortable material ever developed for gaming. It's time to reset gaming. Rise up.
Alright, so a while back I sold out to Game, who paid me money and gave me a load of free stuff just for mentioning their deals on my channel. Well, Game have decided to offer the same sweet deal to any other gamers who fancy selling out to them. All you have to do is go to this website, fill out a form, and then their marketing people will be in touch or something like that. In my opinion, you should all do this. That's just my opinion.
Hello and welcome back to the final best of 2 of tonight, and that's going to be the final best of 2 of the actual season. So, final game, Season 2 UK Masters. We're going to be seeing Xenex versus Ufrag, and right now it's Xenex fighting for that playoff spot.
What a way to end it as well. Xenex versus Ufrag, two teams battling out in their own right as well, and what an adverse effect this could have on who goes to playoffs.
Right now, CX must be watching, biting their nails, because if Xenex 2-0 this, if Xenex beat Ufrag 2-0, they shall be in the playoffs, and they will knock CEX out of that. And that means we won't be casting them tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Saturday. Anyway, though, going into the first map should be Dust 2. So let's see if we can go into the ninth round.
It's got to be Seth, though, just to interject on one final point. It has to be a 2-0.
Yes, it has to be 2-0. Can't be a 1-1. Has to be the 2-0.
We're not in it for any of that funky business of the draws, but nonetheless, as you mentioned, into the map. It is going to be Dust 2. It's going to be that first map, of course. Very excited to see how things are going to go. And in terms of Dust 2, Ufrag, we've seen them play Dust 2 a fair bit in the past, and it's a map
good
that they describe as...
Definitely good T-sides.
Well, good T-sides, but also that they describe it as a map where they feel like everything is almost fairly random.
Have they said that?
That's actually a direct quote.
From Adam?
From a conversation that I've had with players.
Was this of recent?
Of recent, yes. So in terms of the style on the map, intrigued to see how they're going to approach it, because
I'm trying to think. When did I play Ufrag? Must have been 3 weeks ago.
Okay. So what insight can you bring from your experience playing this lineup? Because I can only go off first-hand discussions, bear in mind. So I'm intrigued to see what you can bring to the table as a former player, bear in mind as well.
Former player, still playing.
I mean, from
anyway, when I played Ufrag especially, I don't want to sound harsh right now, but their CT side was lacking quite a bit of firepower. When we played them, obviously they didn't have Dom. I believe they had Zeo stand in. Even then, talking about firepower, those two names are very, very high up there. But they do have Dom. That's going to make a massive difference because they have practiced with him a lot since, when I first casted Ufrag, and they just had him as a stand-in because they had their player. Was it Claw? Yeah, Claw dropping out, and Dom brought in. And there's been weeks that he's been in this lineup now. So hopefully seeing some drilled plays.
You talk about being drilled players, right? We've talked about it a lot. We've talked about them being well prepared. We've talked about whether their thought process on Dust 2 is opinion based on their thinking it's random, how structured they're going to be. Well, there's one thing that certainly has to be said. These guys, they're practically been narrated into playing. Adam has been on them 24/7. Boys, you got to get 1,000 kills in your aim 1,000 kills in your AK.
Is that for real?
That's for real. I've seen these guys actually DMing, sitting there nice and tight, making sure.
But what's 1,000 kills in bots though? It's not really too much, is it?
It's not too much, but for them it's about mentality, right? Adam's trying to force them up to make sure they're being as fresh as they physically can.
You have to lead with the example though if you're doing that. You can't really ask. You can't ask your players to do that. The problem is if you're not doing it yourself, there's not too much motivation. You've really got to inspire your players with your work ethic. But Adams want to really put the hours in, and let's see if it shows up tonight, because we are going live into the first round of this best of 2. T-side, Ufrag on their T-side. Going to be smokes, flashes from Adams. Smoke Xbox, flash mid, flash up short, maybe? We'll see. Decoy goes up there, spotting for any mid aggression. Does tag JT 15 HP, but it's going to be the fast play towards mid for Xenix. This is smart. They're trying to get information early, and they're going to see this player here. I believe that's Hype. I shall see those players. Pommy towards lower tunnels, jumps, but doesn't quite connect enough. Doesn't quite connect anything. But he spotted the push. Usually, when you see 2 players CT, you should go up long if you're the T side, but the reaction instead is to push through mid.
He's pushing back the tide as Xenix at this point as Ufrag they begin to build up a lot of pent-up aggression, ready to push their way out through mid now as they are going to face off against JT. He's going to rattle off a couple, but nothing quite landing yet again. Just a couple of attacks here and there. Goes aggressive, so finds one, makes it a second, looking for the third, and finds all of the shots. Comes up, jumps in every direction. Shaney, just another headshot to be thrown into the mix. A beautiful round coming out from Xenix, albeit a little bit on the later end. But it does the job nice and comfortably, and that is the key point, because you have to remember the T-side for Ufrag, it's about paving the way forward, building themselves up, because their T-side is where they excel. And what better way to slow them down? Xenix snapping the pistol round away from them.
The mid split comes out. It's looking so good. The problem is, though, JT was the difference maker in that round. But anyway, fast play was long. Shaney racking up the cash there with this UMP, and actually the MP7 as well from Pickles. Just look at the money there. That's 3,000 across the board.
$7,000 on Shaney in total now. That's so much money.
And he's the AWPer. That's the person you want with the cash. You want your bank of your CT side economy, and even your T side, to be on the AWPer.
A solid start has to be said for
Wow,
Xenix.
is that actually the... Did they get the bomb down in the first round?
Ufrag looking for the same
They didn't. This is going to catch them off guard.
Bursting out through long. The flash is going to go off again though. And unfortunately it may catch them off guard, but the flashes, they still do the same ult. Still have the blinding effect, but Cray finds himself that double kill. Dom, bit of a singular effect for him, but it's going to be enough to lead them in this 4v2. They have a clear-cut advantage. Hype is going to position himself up towards short, now just looking to sit tight, make sure that Dancy's upon this rotate will get cut down, but can't get the jump. But nonetheless, Hype still able to find the headshot. JT now the last man remaining. Find himself up against the wall here when it comes down to pushing on through. We'll find the pick on towards Hype, but how far can he actually go? He's in a 1v3 still.
He's just trying to
It's plentiful.
diminish their economy that right now. Each
Dom
kill he
behind.
gets here is quite important in terms of the economics, but Dom will shut him down. So it'll be the first round there for Ufrag. Good buy there. Initially, when the first frag went in favor of Xenix, when all those T players were flashed, I got a bit worried there. But it was Dom and Craig to find those frags, and net Ufrag the first round of this first best of, not the first best of 2, but first map in this best of 2. Shaney with a fast, crisp flick down to Adam. There's the bomb dropped, and Hype is so scared for his life just to cross and get the bomb, but he does get it. And once again, we are seeing the slow default coming up from Ufrag. And I believe we shall be seeing the slow play coming out for the most of this match, but already a pause being asked for. I've just lagged out. Apparently Adam's DC'd, but who knows? There was a fast shot from Shaney, but Adam was holding the angle, so he should have won that. So potentially it was lag.
Unfortunately, what's happened has happened. There is no dance back into the past. We are doing the tango into the future at this point as Pommy going to be pushing out through mid, trying to really test his luck, see if he's going to be able to find this pick as he smokes off towards CT. Smart so far. Will at least somewhat diminish the effect of Peggy, but in fact, he's more than happy to become one with the smoke play around it as he begins to set himself up for a push. A flash going to be going out towards the longer direction. Pommy looking to push on through, tagging ever so low now, 1 HP. And this is just perfect for Peggy. Dives back through the smoke now, just keep on maneuvering himself perfectly through this. Dom not able to claim the trade.
They've just swapped positions.
Shaney and Hype, they will
He can hold off CT here as well. This is so important right now. It's going to be planted for sure. The problem is, though, Dances finds the frag onto Dom. I know it's Hype in the 1v3, but JT. Bottom short. Smart play there from Hype. Takes the frag on this. Oh, the timing. That's so frustrating, that is. But anyway, Ufrag shall be reset. The bomb does go down, so money might not be the end of the world. Could be seeing armor, Tech 9s, and potentially some utility coming out into this round. Maybe a fast short play, smoke off Xbox, go fast up short. You know you've been playing a lot towards long. You might expect 3 Xenix players to go long. You might be able to find your opportunity to go up short that way, but we see the pause. Let's take a look at the chat. Let's see what they're saying. So yeah, Adam lagged out, and that was the reason why Shaney killed him. He's bought, so he hasn't DC'd.
I mean, Adam also typed he lagged out, so I'm a little confused, not gonna lie. So I'm not sure if he rejoined the server or whatnot's happened there. I'm hoping that it was just a simple, good old red box of Counter-Strike. You've been timed out from the server. We're back in 25 seconds or so. And hopefully it was as simple as that, nothing too contesting. But nonetheless, the pause, well, has been cancelled down, and we are going to be going straight back into this one. Of course, a 3-1 scoreline. We are seeing something that's got to be slightly different from UFRAG. They're going for this one guns blazing with everything they've got. 3 rifles, 2 AK-47s and a Galil, a Deagle on towards Dom, a Tech 9 on Adam, and a fair chunk of utility towards Adam as well. They go aggressive straight out through long, the same flash, so repetition being thrown to the mix, but it's still working out. Peggy is going to find himself one, but the bare minimum of what he needs as the push is going to keep on going, but he peeks on around, finds the head of Cray. He's still left standing, still moving himself around the boxes. Pommy trying to trade things back, knocked down to 19 HP, and he is still standing. How is he still out as JT? He's going for the role reversal push, shuts down Pommy, and the CT side, they're making this one work. UFRAG not able to find the trades where they dearly need them, as Peggy, unable to stay alive, gets the peek on out, deny any sort of bomb plant. Dances the headshot on towards Dom. UFRAG, they needed the trades, but they just couldn't quite find the head of Peggy.
So I said previously, before the round started, you have an option, an opening on short. 3 Zenix players now every single round towards long because they know UFRAG tend to go towards that long position when they do have the guns. Maybe, just maybe, they might clock onto that and take advantage of that and go fast up short and force Zenix to play the retake. But this round, Glocks, just is that a flash or a smoke? That's a flash, so not too much coming out for this round. Flash through mid, but it's going to be Peg with the M4. This should be some crisp spray down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Can he get the 4th? Nope, pulls pistol out, but doesn't quite connect it. Shaney finds a 4th frag for Zenix, but Adam with that Glock, really what you want in that situation. It's actually be JT finding the first frag as well in that round, but the 3rd buy now. Up on Adam. Let's see how this shall unfold. So, he's holding the angle now. Shaney has not peeked him. And actually, they're going to boost up short, so they are changing the way they're playing their CT side. This is dynamic, this is smart. Shaney going aggressive towards mid. Will he catch Adam? Yes, he will. And he are not liking this time. Shaney finds him.
Peek and is going to come in towards lower tunnels, a boost with the AWP, and this is all just a matter of timing now. Is Dom going to peek? If he does, his life almost inevitably going to be claimed. But at the same time, him just sitting tight, almost not even just running with the idea, that enables him to actually go for the reversal, catches off Shaney as they try to reposition themselves, and that alone is enabling that pick. So an equalization point scored for UFRAG. A couple of smokes now going to be lined on up, one going to be looking to go down towards the tips of mid. Doing their job so far, including an Xbox smoke as well, so that makes Dom's job even easier now as he wants to get out of lower tunnels and really start to maximize his potential. But they still have to make a play.
Yeah, they know Shaney is AWPing towards A as well, so he's probably expecting to be towards car. That's why he's quite hesitant to go through those mid doors. But if he was to go through the mid doors, it would be Peggy that he shall find. Mid to be smoke comes up. Peggy fails to jump though, and maybe Pommy might be able to hear this, but so far, nothing to come about just yet. 37 seconds on the clock, so this is where the play really does happen. Crane out, pushing up long. This is what it's all about. Sees him. Does he get him? Yes, he does. The one tap there, and he catches Peggy in the back, but somehow Peggy wins the duel. 3 versus 3. 19 HP there on Peggy. Molotov's utility comes out towards the CT area. Hype plants for long. He's planting for Pommy. And now if they double up long, this round surely in the bag for UFRAG.
You would certainly hope, but Peggy getting away with his life intact yet again just has to raise that hint of doubt for me, because he was able to go huge in previous circumstances. That'll be a little bit more difficult this time around as Dom is going to peek on out. Will end Dante's life. Pommy adding on towards JT. Peggy still left standing, but nonetheless at this point his hope rapidly dwindling as Hype is going to put the final nail in the coffin. As UFRAG, they pick themselves up their 2nd round of the game. However, and a very huge one at that. If they think this is the path laid out finally for them, they've been able to get themselves going, well, they have a whole other thing coming to them, because Zenix, they still have money. Albeit, it's on the rougher side of things, but it's enough to still get a positive buy. They've got some rifles, they've got the AWP on towards Shaney, who is going to face straight through towards door, let alone potentially get the pick. JT on just a pistol.
They can go out long now. If they know the orb's there, still quite a slow reaction coming out from Hype. Or Cray even. Still though, not too much coming out. Still, again, another slow default coming from UFRAG. They're not opting to play, you know, that hot-headed style. You hear the AWP go off mid, rattling off mid. That's when you're like, oh, I can have a 1 versus 1 versus a rifle up long. Flash me over, team. Instead, they want to play nice and slow. And actually, Pommy, this is the play that they're trying to do. But Dance is hiding at this B box. As soon as he peeks up, he's going to find frags. Let's see what happens. Pommy finds one. Dance is whipping, but he does find the reply onto Adam. The AWP has fallen. But Dom gets the kill onto Dances. Now Shady might have to jump through the smoke. He might have to make a play here because this retake on B is going to be so difficult.
Darcy's not quite doing enough, if I'm honest, and this alone just almost shuts Xenix well and truly out of the sight. Peggy is going to find one on towards Cray, but even then, this B retake in a 3v3, still not going to fancy my odds. They have to try and come in through tunnels, and even if that's beneficial, it certainly looks like they're going to set themselves up to perhaps even just sit tight and hold for the pushes. Peggy is going to finally maneuver himself in towards lower tunnels, but well, from there, having some second thoughts on the stairways, Pommy going for the counter push is going to shut him down, and Pickles is going to find the trade. Flash is going to go back on towards the site, but they have to get a move on at this point as well. Shane now coming in from up and gets the quick flick on towards Pommy. Hype going to shut him down, looking back up towards Heaven. The no-scope going to be missed from Shaney. He's going in with the pistol, up close and personal. How on earth do they try and make that one work? Does he have the time? 5 seconds left on the clock.
I don't think so. Done it.
Break that down for me, Snods, because that's a round where,
for me,
it's
it's Dom.
purposes, should have been different.
Pommy wins the Jordan tunnel, and that's very important because that means that all you have to do is focus about window and door. You know that the one player that's rotating through tunnel is dead. Pommy then can instantly help and support his teammates that are watching those angles. Instead, Dom unnecessarily peeks out window and falls. No flash from his teammate. Dies. That makes it the 2 versus 2. And in that situation, Shaney, he knows where that player was because Pommy just killed his teammate. He not pre-fires, but pre-aims the angle as he peeks in from window. He takes that Jordan, he wins it, and then 1 versus 1, the pistol comes out. JT now flashing out, catches that player. Dom with the deagle, does find the headshot, or the frag, sorry, onto JT. Now dancing to the back box once again. Finds one. Shaney helps him out though. Peering over that scope. But ultimately, the bomb shall go down. That's actually good for the money here.
In all fairness to Ufrak, they've done their job. They've got that bomb part, so aren't going to be complaining by a long shot. Dom, it's just 1 HP there in mind, but he's still going to find himself one. Not able to secure the second, so for almost a heartbeat, we had some hope. As you say, you can certainly imagine if you made that one work with a deagle, but that's certainly a 1 in 100 round, let alone 1 out of 1,000 perhaps, as it is still going to be the same odd result. Xenix, they get themselves to 7. And economy is still the moot point for Ufrak. They are going to be able to get themselves up a double up setup, but are they going to be able to keep things going and use this as their round to get back into the game?
Never seen this before. Does get the tag. I'm not sure which player it was. Adam tries to reface and get it, but doesn't quite connect the shot. Shaney whiffs as well. Be interesting to look after this game, actually, the impact both of these AWPers have, not game, but after this round, the impact so far, 10 rounds in, these AWPers have had. But at face value, what would you say?
Face value, Dom with the AWP, already concerning as already mentioned, but then the entirety of Ufrag, they're back on another round where they have to go into this.
You have to think as well, what does it change, what does it answer? Dom on the AWP, what does that answer? What questions, what problems have Xanax given Ufrag to make him buy the AWP? But anyway, Pommy challenging Peggy and wins it, has the AK, so the headshots go either way. Obviously, that one-shot headshot from the AK does ultimately win him that duel. And now the AWP, this is not what you want. You want another rifle on Dom when you're playing this slow. Oh my goodness. Adam finds that frag onto...
Nice response from JT, however.
Yep.
Pushing through tunnels, nets the pick on towards Dom, so games things back to a bit more of a workable standpoint for Xenix. However, they have a long way to go, and with Cray getting that smooth headshot towards
right
Pickles,
now, this is it. He saw that flash from long. If he kills him, he's won it. Oh, he whiffs the shot. Tries to go for the second one, jumping around. Will Cray give him his life? But instead, Hype shall win that. Not even win that duel, but we'll find him at the back of the head. JT now on the 1 versus 4. So, what I was trying to say that round, Pommy finds the first in mid, and when that happens, that's when you want to have the smoke off. You can smoke mid to B. You've killed Peggy, you know there's 2A, there's 2B. Smoke mid to B, split B. Smoke. Didn't even need to smoke catwalk at that point. Smoke off the site. Smoke off the first bit was short. Not really too short. You know he's got the steps, and then you got the thing you can jump on. Smoke that, flash over, and go for the A execute. When you do those A executes, you don't really want the double op set up, especially on a map like Dust 2, where it's the close range angles when you're peeking down towards CT. That's why I was a bit hesitant towards those double ops, but in the end they do win it. Nice spray there from Pommy and Hype as they do find those frags, but they do have no armor. It's going to be 2 frags found in tunnel. That's for the AWP, but unfortunately for him, had no armor. So as soon as that first bullet landed on Pommy, The aim punch came in, and Dancy's falls.
Certainly has to be said from a round where we go from saying Ufrag the economy was a moot point, then winning that round ever so influential because now they got themselves almost a bit of a band-aid to be applied. And you look at the damage they were able to do to Xenix as well. The fact they've had to go into this one with a fresh-faced eco, just $2,000 a piece, certainly shows that as much as the scoreline is 7-3, soon to be 7-4, it's much closer than people would originally expect.
Yeah, a lot of 1v1s. I mean, you got to think as well. Imagine if Shaney didn't win that 1 versus 1 and break the economy of Ufrag. We could have been seeing, you know, 5-5 at that point potentially. But instead, we are looking at 7-4. But on Ufrag's T side, is that enough?
Certainly, the question that we are going to
That's an
find
orb.
ourselves answered is an orb.
He'll have that.
More than happily to take it away from him.
Shaney, let's take a look at the orbs. Can we see the frags here? Frags obviously don't mean everything, but right now we can see the impact. Shaney sitting at 14 for 7. Adam at 2 for 8. It's not the end of the world, obviously, because Ufrag have been playing well. I mean, look at the players stepping up. Dom and Pommy have been finding those entries. Cray had that amazing run along when he found those 2 frags to open up the site, but...
That's one way to step up.
Wow.
Adam,
Great
straight
shot
through the door.
there. Great shot there from Adam. Finds that frag onto JT. And now as this round is just Shaney to make the play, and he knows he has to push and find something. Try and work some magic, and he finds it 4 versus 4 now. The problem is they know the AWP is, so now they might slowly conjugate towards B.
You would certainly hope as the B site pretty much nullifies the use of Shaney, as he's going to struggle to get up close and personal and really bring the fight, especially with Pickle's position just kind of dancing through the doorway. There to throw a bit of a wrench into the works as well, almost cementing that this is going to be that aforementioned push. The bomb is going to be a little bit late, but they're really going to play a part in it. As Hype and Pommy, they will dismantle any sort of hold left. Peggy going to come in from CT, but that all was mentioned. It's just completely out in the wilderness. There's not really too much of an impact Shaney can bring.
He's tried that jump a fair few times.
If that doesn't work, it doesn't work.
What has worked for Xenix so far? Shaney's AWP's been really impactful. Lots of kills towards the A side, especially towards long. He found another one there in this round here. Will he find another one here holding that CT angle? Ooh. Yes, he does. Dom falls. Ooh, that's a nice shot there from Peggy as Hype walks into his, I'd say scope again, crosshair.
It's perfect, though, if you think about it, because Shaney, he's securing the AWP, making sure that no one can get close, but also that he's helping out Peggy, because now Peggy gets to pick up that AK-47.
Yep.
They back off into the distance, and you have to bear in mind, Xenix economy, yes, it's going to get that well-needed a boost to make sure they can get on the buy anyway.
Yep.
But this pretty much helps them out in future rounds as well, especially with utility.
Adam, in the previous round, hitting an amazing shot mid. Will we see it again? The AWP is dropped to him from Dom. Smart there. Dom's a phenomenal player, great talent, but I don't really put my odds on him with the AWP. He's so crisp with those rifles, but the nade comes out. They're so scared now of Adam and his AWP, so nothing seen there from him. 3 plays towards long, no Cray is flash, and he will fall. Oh my god, he's still alive. Pickles though.
There's the nade. Gonna end him right there, and then the AWP of Shaney.
Shaney wins the duel again. Adam falls now. Dom, will he pick up the AWP? That'll be interesting.
For him, the biggest thing is arguably getting that bomb as well, bear in mind, and that's why we're seeing just such a big response from the CT side. All of that utility dropped on there, the Molotovs as
Pommy's
well.
behind them!
Shutting them down. Pommy is going to worm his way through, but how much of an impact is he actually able to obtain? Well, not really that much as Shaney gets the quick flick in return. Dancy's catches off Hype, and that sort of behind push just doesn't quite do the job. JT now going to be up towards the top mid, meaning that Dom is well and truly trapped in a box of his own. One certainly created up his own volition. And where can he go from this? Just lurking through the smokes, staring dead set into the shade of grey. He's in towards Peggy, gets a couple of shots and an opportunity, but not able to really mould something out of it. And from there, well, he knows he's got 50 seconds. Needs to create a game plan.
Talking about creating a game plan, Ufrag have asked for a pause.
I think that's
Tactical.
I think it's good timing, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree with you there.
As much as it is the second to last round, they're going to be incredibly important rounds, because you talk about how valuable each and every round of Ufrag's T-side is.
Xenix have already won the half right now, unless Dom goes absolutely huge.
Well, let's dive into that. 25 seconds. The smoke is going to go down, tries to get that cross. Got himself a Molotov in hand. His basically game plan here is to make sure he can get a plant, but Dancy's straight through the edge of the box. Drops him dead, so shuts down any potential for Dom to get on the site and get a plant at a minimum. And from there, do we see the pause?
We do indeed. So money isn't looking too good for Ufrag. They can buy an AWP. Well, I'd say the money isn't too good. It's decent. You can buy an AK onto Hype. Potentially double up setup as well. that would mean Tech9's on Cray and Dom. Yeah, right now, if I was Adam, I'd call bar the AWP if they do force this, obviously, because they can do a Tech9 armor nade into this round, allows the next to get 9, and then play for that final round, try and make it 9-6. And if they do, that's fair play.
It's got to be
Definitely
said.
the safer option.
It's actually technical related.
Technical?
So not a tactical pause. As much as I would look at this and go, you know, as much as, again, it's also the 14th round.
It's a very well-timed technical pause, but obviously things do happen. We saw Adam lagging out earlier, so fair play. If, hopefully we do see fair play. Hopefully he does fix it. And it's not an advantage of Xenix where they have a player on, you know, Ufrag lagging or something. But anyway.
As I think it certainly has to go into. We talk about the force, we talk about all the potential options that Ufrag can take. The routes they've done in the past, and you know, if we're looking at historic
Lots of
Ufrag,
saves.
lots of saves. That is their trademark move. So certainly does raise the eyebrow, but then Pommy, he's got that AK-47 now in his back. I would expect to see a force here, because Ufrag, they also have to know, as much as we lightly touched on, just how valuable each and every round they get on their T side is. Because as much as Xenix getting rounds on their CT side is also valuable to them, of course.
It's Ufrag's T side that usually are.
Yeah, that's where they're crisp. That's where they really get the bulk of their work done. So on the losing side of a half, for them, every round matters. So getting the 6th, potentially getting the 7th as well, pivotal for them, especially with how they think they can do on their CT side. But then you have to throw the other wrench into the works and look at the flip side of that story, because we also highlighted at the start, Ufrag, they have been trying to be as keen as possible with CS Streets. They have been trying to practice. Now, whether...
Should we take a look at the hours?
Well, you can bring that up on the second monitor, of course.
Yeah,
but
let me take a look. So
in terms of practice, Dust 2, whether that's a map they've actually drilled into or not, of course, you know, I heard in passing that Dust 2 has been a map they have been scrimming on recently, so clearly you can see a level of improvement there, but again, how much does that really come into play?
60 hours in the past 2 weeks on Hype, 70 on Dom. Look at Pommy. 60 again, and then Adam.
Talk about Adam leading by example.
What? Apparently Adam has played 180 hours in the past 2 weeks. He's obviously left his CS on a bit too much. We don't know how much he's played, but...
Nonetheless, here we go.
60 hours in the past 2 weeks. Isn't a lot, but it's not... What's the word I'm looking for?
It's not
too low.
It's how about you use it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a team, you prac 4 times a week, that is at the bare minimum 40 hours. So 20 hours in the past 2 weeks for these players have added in of pugs and hopefully some aimbots and deathmatch and whatnot. But anyway, Shaney now holding this angle, and this is going to be an angle that he hasn't seen just yet, or these T players haven't seen just yet, because Shaney's been playing so much towards the long.
Pickles.
This is a good angle.
He's going to be there to hold off towards door, just ready and waiting. Finds the first, going for the second. The crossfire from Shaney seals the deal. Crate going to be dropped on dead.
He misses the flash.
Things, well, just releasing wide open, should we say, for Shaney now. Gets us another pick to add on through to an ever so building tally at this point. A body pile in the making as Adam so desperate to go for a plant. He's sitting there ready and waiting. Nice and patient, bomb in hand, and is going to get it down finally. But what does that really add into the mix? Well, that leaves Dom left to die in a 1v1 against Pickles. JT there to be the aiding factor to shut down Adam. And a perfect round from Xenix. We talk about Ufrag needing to get into things. Well,
he pressed his primary weapon key too fast after he flashed there. And that meant that Shaney was not flashed and he wasn't caught off the angle. And Hype falls in that 2 versus 5. Not really too much you can do there. You have to force the plant. Plant goes down. The problem is, though, you're both so close to the site, no map control. It's not as if you've planted for short and there's a player on short. So a miracle can happen, but...
That's nice. Tag through the door.
Yeah, it's with the scout, though, so only going to be 30 damage dealt to Dances. But let's see what happens here. Dances holding the line. One of us comes through, but there's no flash! Easy frag there for him. Can he get any more? Yes, he can. Finds the second time. Any more, though? 3 for Dances, but don't find 1. Pommy finds the second as well for Ufrag, but Shaney catches Adam off in mid. Pommy at 13 HP, trying to make this on 3 versus 1. There's a flashbang. Puts into the smoke, though, so nothing will come about from it.
How much utility Xenix have in their back pockets? Though
Good angle.
Molotovs, frag grenades. He has an angle, but is that going to be enough? Finds one, going for the second, but overwhelmed by the sheer numbers being lobbed at his direction. Because there you have it. It is going to be the quick push. It is going to be the frag, and most importantly, it is going to be that 10-5. So Ufrag, a T side that we look so adamantly at, we've talked about being the stronger portion, has certainly fallen rather short for them.
But
However,
where are the flashes?
I have to say, it's a bit of a sour point. Flashes. It's something that is always a haunting factor for a lot of teams. And it's a common mistake. Teams just missing out on the tiniest bit when it comes down to actually using that utility in the correct sort of fashion. And perhaps that's a learning point for Ufrag. either way, the best thing to do right now is just look dead set at their CT side. Certainly has been historically their struggling portion.
Then again, though,
They have to do something.
and right now we'll see what happens. So Pickles now does tag up Hype, and this is not good. This is not what you want if you're a UFrag fan, because Hype falls immediately, and now Dance is close towards the door. Dom as well. Woo-hoo-hoo! That's a triple burst there and takes down Dom at those close doors. JT finds Adam lurking in mid, and right now we're looking at Xenex winning both pistols.
Cray just 14 HP. Pommy there to spam for the door on the retake, of course, but his head laid, clinging to rest. Cray soon to follow him in that double jointed grave, and well, they have it, both pistols in the bag. And gotta say, sound like you enjoyed that one.
Triple kill with the triple burst. I do like that indeed. Dances finds 3 there, but it's Pickles in my eyes that had the frag of the round. Kills Hype there, tags him up, dinks him. That means that Hype can't face as much as he would like to. And he does fall. Oh my goodness! Good night, Dom. I wish you saw that for Adam's point of view there. Oh no, Dom just typed in chat. Try and read that out for me, go on.
We are starting to see the first push coming from Adam towards tunnels, trying to force the hand of JT and pretty much catch him off guard, but Adam's not being so persistent. On the flip side, it looks like we are seeing a little bit different style of play coming from Hype, who finally gives up the angle. Pommy, on the other hand, looking to go a bit aggressive over towards A, trying to make a play of his own, but going to be shot on down by Peggy, who's just going to fire up a couple of shots, and they pretty much act as warning shots, saying, you know what, this is my land. I will kill you if you step further. So perhaps he should back off. Perhaps that is the smarter decision, and well, that's what happens. He does back off, eventually deciding to test his luck, though, as he goes back on through, and well, yet again proving to be risky, and goes back through that loop, leaves, and may come back again. Who knows? And it looks like he actually is.
Peggy's expecting it though.
I mean, he's done it once already. Perhaps even the second or third time he's trying to get away with this.
Though. Ooh. If only you can see what we really see. All this heads bopping. Finds one. Can he get a second one? They need to find a lot here. They want a chance of winning this, but Peggy's. Pickles finds that crisp headshot to Crane. Peggy finds the kill on Tommy. It's going to be JT finding 2 in mid.
Certainly a clean start to the second half for Xenex so far, and I don't want to look too sourly on the position of UFrag. What I want to look at is how they can come back from this, because we talk quite a lot about the comeback path of teams. What is their opportunity to really build things up? Of course, we know the scoreline is 12-5. We know that's pretty damn bleak. We know they're on an eco round. That's all of the context. So at a 13-5 standpoint, unless they can go huge with these USPs, what is the opportunity?
I mean, it is a good start by going huge with this USP as Adam finds a nice headshot there onto JT. The problem is though, even though they are a man ahead, in terms of firepower, utility, armor, they are far, far behind. Pickles, fast up shot now. Can he find the headshot again onto Cray? Yes, yes he can. Shani as well, the USP, it's a nice headshot again. Adam falls. Tommy change the circumstances, but he does fall. 13-5 is what we are looking at right now, Flakes. And you mentioned before, what can they do? CT side, Dust 2. You need control of long. We might see 3 players going fast. Up long, not up long, but 2 long. First players with the first 2 spawns, push long with their backs turned, have the third player flash over. At that point, just hold long, face long. If there's lots of flashes coming up from the T side, if Xenex go for a long take and they throw all those flashes over towards long, smoke the corner, jump on the little ledge there if you are the CT side, and try and get those angles over the smoke. This is a nice tip there. But anyway, 13-5. Right now, if I'm Xenex, I'd go fast up short right now.
What's the approach behind that?
You're winning the Angels. Pickles is, killing Cray with those nice headshots. Oh my god, who wins it? Adam wins it! Takes down Shane. That was a nice peek there for him. But the reason for that, UFrag, we've seen them play Dust 2 before. When they do play Dust 2, they play heavy towards long. You see already there's 3 players here at the start, and that player falls off and goes towards car. If you go fast and short, you can abuse that. But anyway, Hype finds the second kill and abuses JT. 2-man lead already for UFrag in this round. And right now, not too much strategics coming into this one. Just pure aim battles. And UFrag, they've won them.
Yeah, 1v1's being taken by Xenex, but just falling ever so short. UFrag trying to turn the tide out, and with that first pick was already a welcome change. And right now, turning the Historics on the head is exactly what we need to see from a side trying to make that comeback happen in a very valuable matchup of that. His nades are going to be expended on towards that site. Well, again, just another slow start. UFrag going aggressive towards A is... towards B site, sorry, is going to be good, but the value of them over towards the A site is starting to dwindle somewhat as Pickles gets the headshot on towards Adam after a bit of an awkward affair as a shot will be missed with that AWP, and That enables a bomb plant, and as much as NX they do have a one-man disadvantage, they're on the site. They're in their comfortable after plants. UFrag are on the retake, already being flashed up on towards short. Dom going to try and push on through nonetheless, got his back turned and had a second thought. Another flash of his own and keeps on going. It's going to be enough to catch off Pickles and Dances, leaving Peggy to do all the work.
I was about to say that would be heartbreaking for UFrag to lose that round, especially after the early advantage they did have. But on the retake there, good flashes through that smoke on short, and they do net themselves their first round on their CT side. So 6-13. Still Xenix more than twice in the lead.
A double up setup being brought to the table by UFrag, so that's going to be interesting to see, especially if
one probably towards back plat or mid. Let's see where Adam will go. He'll face the mid again.
well, first time.
Oh, I thought he landed that then.
Ever so close to winning it the second time.
Shenny's like, I'll have another peek at that. Gets the bomb. And now we shall see how the round unfolds. So Dom on Hype on B. These are your highlight players right now on UFrag. Dom recently joined, but arguably the best player on this team. Hype as well. Definitely up there on this roster. Mid to B smoke comes out. Oh, look at the players on short. There's so much information, and they can be on the fast rotate towards mid, but they smoked it off. The smoke fades. How do they decide to play it? They've completely given up long. That's a good read because there are no Xenix players up long. Peggy now fakes it. Pommy gets tagged to 40, but Peggy's at 37 as well. They know this player's close, he can molly this and take advantage of it, or they simply just flash through. Flash card Pickles.
It's repetition. They do the same old flash, and they get away with it again. This is the same thing they did in the previous round, and the exact same result. Both players get dropped on dead. 2 AWPs on a retake. UFrag, well, in a bit of a pickle, as Adam is going to find one on towards Peggy. The bomb is going to find its way down, but JT, he's over towards mid. He's holding the flank, finds one, looking for a second on towards Hype. The repeat is going to be taken. Hype will win the battle. Still, it's going to be a 2v3. Bomb is just going to be ticking on down now. A lot of time being expended, and, well, there's not really too much to get into. UFrag, they're on the save, and this is going to hit Xenix on 14 at this point. And I think they can get away with the save as well. Looks like they should be fairly unscathed as well. A double up setup for them to be saved, so at least they can bring that into the next round. But it has to be asked, and a question that's fairly topical at that. The 21st round, what can a double up setup achieve?
Well, I thought they were going to have one B, one towards mid or A. Another setup you can have is one go towards long, one hold mid. If you are UFrag and you do play 3 players towards long, one of the ways to counter the fast short play from the T's is to have an AWP in mid, hold the angle to not allow those T's to go fast and short. Even if they do, give the information to your team that they have done that. But anyway, Shaney holds the pick and actually tags up Hype on the reef. It gets the kill to Adam!
Quick push
And
coming
Hype
in
is
over
low.
the B side.
Oh my God.
UMP from Hype finds 3 quick picks, looking for the 4th.
Hype saved that. Whew. Imagine if Shaney killed Hype. The round and the game potentially over right there. $14-7. Money low on the Xenix side. 1.6 count Shaney, so they might force by this. But instead, they opt for the save. And now Shaney trying to get those tags in. Actually does, but it's only 30 damage, so not really the end of the world for Hype.
Pickles just holding the angle straight through the fire and pays a pretty dear price. Knocked down to 36 HP. Dom still looking to repeat similar success, and Dancy's going to end him ever so comfortably. Good night, sweet dreams yet again as a scout. Proving to be a pretty lethal weapon down in mid, as Peggy now just going to hold the angle, looking to set himself up for a winning battle on towards Cray, and what an artful way to approach. Dancy's just another on towards Tommy. Pickles, a deagle on towards Adam. A Felico looking like it's going to make it happen. Hype, the last man remaining, pulling off potentially what could be an ace here if he can make this one work, as he's bearing down on towards CT. Maneuvering himself into position now. He's holding towards long, looking to catch off Dancy, who is going to take the peek. Makes a bit of a struggle to find the frag, but gets it nonetheless. So brings it to a 1v3. Now he knows he's going to be pushed, so he's ready and waiting for that. Punishes Peggy, down to 16 HP. The bomb is going to be planted by Pickles. Something that Hype is going to try and deny, and does it successfully, but he's being peeked from behind. JT next in line, but now they're looking for the double face. Hype knows he has to retreat into a position where both players cannot simply face him with ease, and he's doing that. Drops in towards CT, catches off JT. Now looking back towards short, the Molotov is going to go down, blocking Peggy from peeking. He has no choice but to sit and wait. 16 HP, of course, is the number. Hype, 10 HP in himself. It all comes down to who can hit the deagle shot. Hype right on the cusp. Drops the smoke now, looking to stick the defuse. Peggy going to be looking to spray on through with the Steagle, but he's not finding the shot. The defuse is being stuck, and Hype, he gets away with it. The 1v4, not quite able to seal the 5th frag, but the
That's
round
still a 1v5
nonetheless.
in my books.
And he still saves it, most importantly. An incredible round.
Goodness.
You have to look at what would have happened to Ufrag's economy if that round went any other direction. Xenix, they would have been on 15, and from there, Ufrag, they would have been fighting back with what would have been a buy, the same strength as a wet noodle.
Excuse me? Well, on the topic of wet noodles, I don't really know what to say, to be fair. 14-8, Ufrag have finally, not finally, but somehow magically pulled that one out of the bag. Once again, a slow T default coming from Xenix. They have the scout on Shani, so they can try and work tags and potentially picks. But for now, we are seeing the slow default trying to come up. Trying to see if they can find any early CT aggression, but from Ufrag's side, they're not giving up anything. Peeking to short, and now Pickles could face towards A. There's no AWP on Adam XO, so it's going to be a straight aim battle. And from what we've seen so far, my money's on Pickles.
Certainly bets there to be placed as Adam. He's really a man to keep an eye on as he wants to pin down this A site. That is his job in that position. Army not able to live up to a similar sort of roll over towards long, leaving that area ripe for the picking, but something that's not going to be taken advantage of, which is fairly thankful for the Ufrag side. Still to be expand, but JT gonna bite the bullet, goes to the push and gets a fairly plentiful reward as he shuts down Dom. Cray gonna be there to do a lot of work in terms of this lipped mid-peak, and albeit he can get himself a pick. Is it gonna be enough? No. Hype on the other hand finds one of his own, looking to shut down into the push, and he's doing the drop though. He finds himself too, looking now for the triple kill. How far is he willing to go for his team? The answer may potentially be not far enough, as Adam, a 1v2, has to push, has to go aggressive. So close to finding Shaney, but just by the skin of his teeth, Shaney gets away on 12 HP. Adam has no utility to force the hand. He has to go in guns blazing. Shaney, a crackling headshot as he whips his way through.
Right now in this map, it's Shaney versus Hype. 24 to 18 on Hype. 28 to 12. So many frags. He's hardly dying as well. Such efficient play coming up from Shaney.
Such a shame because Hype, he only needed one more frag really to make that one doable, but it just fell rather short. And
not him shaking in just a moment. He's in the moment. But anyway, Pommy with the scout towards long. Doesn't quite find anything as Peggy is playing quite passive.
Bush is going to be coming in from the side of Ufrag. They're looking to catch off Xenix, but it's just all falling to pieces. 3 quick frags. Pommy and Hype, the last 2 men remaining. Pommy going to try and make things work. Hype goes aggressive. Pommy lands the shot as well, so every player doing their job so far, but it's all now left back on towards a Hyper player who found that 1v5 in the past. Now has to pull off a 1v2 to keep Ufrag
half the
alive.
numbers.
Half the numbers, arguably, but double the pressure.
And no kit.
No kit, has some utility, a flash and a smoke to play with. This is going to be going aggressive, looking for ideally that first shot on towards Shaney. But even then, it's just not quite landing. It's the repeat. 20 HP is the number now that he's going to be sat upon. A smoke going to go down dead at his feet, and Shaney is going to claim his life. 16-8 is the scoreline. A lot to be said. Xenix put up one hell of a fight. A lot of momentum came into play for them. Ufrag, a valiant job at bringing things back. Major props have to go to Hype, it has to be said as well.
He did try his best.
Not to diminish him when saying he doesn't quite do enough, because at the end of the day, he found, what, 2 picks? Needed the 3rd to maybe make it possible for the clutch, but even 2 picks in that situation, incredible when you look at his point of view.
And the way they were playing as well, the T's on that A site, not trying to give him the 1 versus 1s, just hiding, smoke off short as well. That's really the nail in the coffin, and they do secure the first map in this final best of 2 of the season. 1 more map now, 1 more win for Xenix, and he saw... Dust 2 was Ufrag's pick, correct?
I don't actually know the pick order, unfortunately.
Most likely, we've seen them play Dust 2 before,
yeah.
and they do have a very good T side on Dust 2. Maybe didn't show it today, but they do. Unfortunately for them, though, they do lose their pick, and they have lost their first map. Problem is, though, if you're a CEX fan or a CEX player, shout out to Thomas, probably watching this right now, biting his nails, because if Xenix win this, you're out of the playoffs.
Yeah, pretty much means one hell of a narrative is beginning to build on up, and of course we want to see what happens. But as per usual, the same old saying, we'll get to it very, very soon. In the meantime, we are just going to take a break. That'll only be a couple of minutes, so make sure you do stick with us, because this is going to be a very important matchup, as it will dictate will CEX be in playoffs.
Imagine a typical gaming headset. Take that image, light a match, and blow it up. That's what we did to create Arctis. We challenged everything to create our new gaming headsets. We added our award-winning speakers found in $300 headsets to every model in the Arctis line. And our new Clearcast mic? It's so good, we used it to record this video. We invented new athletics-inspired airweave fabric, the most comfortable material ever developed for gaming. It's time to reset gaming. Rise up.
Alright, so a while back I sold out to Game, who paid me money and gave me a load of free stuff just for mentioning their deals on my channel. Well, Game have decided to offer the same sweet deal to any other gamers who fancy selling out to them. All you have to do is go to this website, fill out a form, and then their marketing people will be in touch or something like that. In my opinion, you should all do this. That's just my opinion.
That was quick. Well, we're back again with the final map of the season.
What a momentous
Cash.
one of that. I'm so looking forward to this.
This is going to be really good. Really, really good. Xenex need this one to make it to the playoffs. Ufrag, they want to save their dignity and try and get the final map win
Yep, got there.
in the end.
I think
Hopefully Xenex will as well.
the best part about me for this, my best feeling, sorry, is that Ufrag, they're good at cash as well.
Yeah?
I don't feel like this is a series that I'm going to and saying, you know what, this could be a 1-1 or this could be something along the lines because one team doesn't play this map. No, both of these teams, they both play Dust 2, they both play cash.
When I played on Ufrag, we played a lot of cash.
Yeah, it's like
A lot of
by far
cash.
probably one of their most practiced maps in the grand scheme of things, aside from Train. So as much as that may change somewhat in terms of the dynamic of this lineup and how much practice they've got, of course, we know there have been lineup changes and things that have hurt Ufrag in the past.
Yep.
It has to be said, cash is still a map that you
Anyone
can just
play
pick up
cash.
and play.
You play it so often.
Yeah, it's very plug and play.
Plug and play, I like that. Very. Straight off the bat, though, I feel like it's Ufrag's. Well, when I played, it was our CT sides that always let us down, and our T sides were always strong.
I think we saw that pretty evident in Dust 2 as well, right? We saw
Yeah.
CT sides being a struggling point for them. We did see some great work coming out from individuals such as Hype, so it'd be very intriguing to see how well
Wasn't
he can
enough
transfer
though.
that.
The thing is that can you carry through a 1 versus 5 and all those frags into another map? And the problem is, personally, I just don't see that.
Yeah, it's the same argument as can you bring momentum from a series for Xenex? Can they bring over the same sort of style where they were very
It's
aggressive?
consistency. It's
in the
just
first half?
consistency in my eyes. Xenex, you saw the frags as well. Shaney had a standout performance. All the other players on his team sitting at that 20 frag, 18 frag margin. They're just carrying their weight, playing well. Hype stepped up, but a few players on Ufrag in that previous map stepped down. And unfortunately, we're going to need to see a standout performance from one of these players on Ufrag and consistency from the rest of those players.
So let's just go back into Chemistry 101. Let's break down the components of what builds up the concoction that is Cash. The core layer, what are we looking at in terms of mid? What do they need in terms of these teams to make it work?
Ufrag, typically when I played and I opt for this team, 2 mid, smoke mid, flash mid, molly over boost, and have the AWP hold mid for briefly, just for 20, 30 seconds or so. If there's nothing mid, rotate A or B based off the AWPer's decision. Obviously, Adam is the AWPer for this team now. So will we see him play static towards mid, or will he try and be slightly dynamic and hold off mid? If there's nothing mid, nothing shown, no early boosts, no early faces, go towards A, go towards B, hold for those picks there.
Well, that certainly ties us in quite nicely, and I'm sure you know exactly where I'm going to go with this.
Go for it.
A site.
A site, ooh. When I played, who was it that played A? I'm just having a think right now. They're not on the team anymore. Anyway, I think B is where I want to start.
Yep.
Hype is the B player for Ufrag. The B cement, the B, you know, holding block? What's the word I'm looking for? Cement block that holds the B bomb site. The problem is he's been known to, you know, push a bit too much when he doesn't need to. Throw away leads. I don't want to say the pressure gets to him. But in this moment here, he does like to AWP as well.
Okay.
So if you push with the AWP B, that's fine, as long as you play the correct setup. You don't want to play aggressive B and A and mid. You don't want to be showing your hand too early. We saw actually, who was it versus? I'm trying to think now. Was it generic team name?
Possibly.
Where
think, yeah.
Ufrag was, so not Ufrag, Hype was AWPing B and he kept pushing it.
Yeah.
Problem is though, we saw him the next day play versus Endpoint and we didn't see the same aggression because maybe the nerves got to him.
Well, you can certainly hope as well that, you know, we're seeing a lot of practice. Adam really starting to get into drilling down the team and making them very structured and held together. That's something that he can fix just off of repetition, constantly really almost proving that why it doesn't necessarily work and why it can work and why at the end of the day you have to think it through and it works in certain situations, but also against certain style of teams. Now, that's also to the flip side, because we've really stressed quite a lot about the specifics of Ufrag, but I don't really feel like we've touched a fair bit on Xenix.
CT side, Dances is, I don't want to say the wild card, but the player that really does make a difference. He does AWP. He's not the primary AWPer. Shinny's the primary AWPer, we just saw in Dust 2. He played so well. But Dances is that secondary AWPer, and he plays it very, very well. He's the AWPer that he lets people to walk into his scope. He doesn't miss. He's not fancy with the AWP, but he doesn't miss. We saw on B side, those players kept walking into his scope. He's not like Shinny, who'll push for the frags. I just saw him go towards long.
It's that comparison, though, that makes it so lethal at times.
Exactly.
Right?
They have
a
the
nice
aggressive.
balance.
It's like Fallen and Cold Zero. Fallen are more, well, when they both are potentially passive, and then Cold Zero goes for aggressive picks. Similarly here, we shall be seeing potentially the double AWPs. So the problem is on Cash, 2 AWPs isn't really too good, because if you do start losing rounds, your mind just gets absolutely wrecked.
Hot and cold, fire and ice. The comparison's ever so distinct.
Wet and noodles.
We've gone back to the wet noodles. Love it. Well, it's about time we got into this. We have ourselves a knife round result.
Wait, Xenix won that?
Just gonna wait and
Wasn't
see.
that a 3 versus 1?
I didn't actually check the knife round, to be fair. It's not really something that we...
I was about to say, I was literally about to say, oh, you frag one. I'm an idiot. Sorry, the names, the names are switched round. Wow, John, the BM's real.
Gotta love John.
Anyway,
Wow. That was said. Ufrag
Smoke him.
on the CT side, Xenix over on the T
whoa,
side.
shush, calm down for 1 second, mate. Smoke already being used, actually. So when were you going for that smoke diffuse? Instead, we're seeing the fast speed play, but we've already got 3 players here. Look where Hype is. He's in the corner. He's in that lungy corner. First frag, Pommy finds it. Instant replay, though. Hype as well. And create these boxes at these off angles. They're not expected positions, and they catch these players off guard.
Yeah, great round coming out from Ufrag. A quick and nice and overall very plentiful CT side start from them, and this is the momentum they need to kick off a roadshow for them as Xenix now have to decide, do they want to respond? Are they going to sit on tight? How do they want to approach this? As it is going to be some Tech 9 to scout into the hands of Shaney, and arguably the aggressive route they have opted for.
Xenix on the force by the scout. We saw the scout play so much of a role in the previous map, especially from Dances. He's so good at that scout. He loves buying it. But anyway, it's on Shaney now. Should get boosted up and we'll peek towards connector. Oh, so close there. You actually don't see it on my screen because I'm watching the second monitor, but that was very close to being the first frag on the round as Shaney just missed Adam.
So close, but so far at the end of the day,
Anyway.
which is still not a frag, and it's damage to be inflicted, which has value in itself, but that's a commodity, and commodities, they're traded. And that's something we are going to need to see from the CT side, as Dom is going to be in a bit of a rough one here. The nade is going to be dropped defensively. Finds the first pick on towards Peggy Cray. Going to combine that crossfire, and we talk about trading. Well, there you have it. This is going to be somewhat premature, but still does the job. Dances with the Deagle, though, to start to push things back as he finds a frag on towards Hype. But Cray doing so much work over towards Speedway as he nets himself that first pick, let alone the damage on towards JT, and bit by bit making this one just some
He needs to get aggressive here. Shaney needs to get aggressive. He wants any chance of winning this. Finds the frag onto Adam. The 1 versus 2. Low HP on Cray. Can he stay alive? The bomb isn't planted for him, however. Cray will completely demolish him. Bomb is defused. 2-0 for Ufrag. Good start here. Finally a pistol going in their favor as well. Didn't touch on this, but in the previous map it was both pistols going in favor of Xenix. And now we're going to see if Xenix can claw back from being in the deficit. So the money on Ufrag. It's decent. They'll buy into this one. So the next one they'll have potentially the M4s if they want to throw away these SMGs. The question is, do they hold on to the UMPs and try and get aggressive towards Squeaky B main in this close quarters areas? Do they opt to drop the SMGs and just fall out by those rifles? And if they do, how much money will they lose? Oh my goodness, Hype though. Plus 1, plus 2. Can he get any more? 3! Doesn't get the 4th though. Shaney finds 2 frags. Already a good start for him, and he's been playing phenomenal so far this best of 2. The bomb does go down, but look at the utility they have. Absolutely 0. And the same goes for their armor.
Certainly has got to be said. Xenix, they got the bomb down, which for them is a win. Hype, he may have had a nice spot, may have been a whole lot of flair added to the round, but still, a bomb plant is found, and that in my book's a win for Xenix. Ufrag, they will at least mop things up, and they're going to get that defused, but the money on Xenix is now going to be just that tiny bit higher, which is going to have a huge effect if they go into their buy round.
Now the money is very strong on Ufrag. All those kills from Hype though with that SMG. I mean, it's such a clean round from Ufrag. Even though the bomb did go down. For Xenix, we're going to be seeing the AWP on Shaney. And the double op, here we go. This is the AWP, the double op that I was talking about. Will Hype opt to play aggressive? I feel like he should, because if Shaney plays towards A and mid, which he is indeed. Will he find the frag? Yes, he does. Is he going to reface though? Adam's throwing a Molotov. That could have been very bad. But only 1 frag. With 1 minute 30 on the clock. Shaney wants another try at this one.
He's somewhat hungry. He doesn't quite have the knowledge that someone is going to be close there, but he's going to peek it. Catches off his shoulder. And it's going to be a scalping. Just enough to really cement a lead. Adam is going to find himself the trade finally, but only to a 1-man matchup, as it is still going to be a 1-man disadvantage for the side of Ufrag, but Adam at least making things nice and much more contestable as the push coming in towards A main will begin to formulate pressure on towards Dom's shoulders. Surely has an idea that a push may begin to come his direction, and that's why he's getting himself much more comfortable on the site. For now, it comes down to when does Xenix want to bite the bullet? When do they want to go as that door
Adam's
has been
rotating.
opened?
They have, look at the utility as well. The T's have so many nades.
Well, the CT side have information as well, which is most important.
Yeah, they do, but look where Hype is. He's on such a long rotate with an AWP. Let's see what happens. Dom finds 1, but the mollies and the flashes and everything going in favour right now of the T's, because it's a 1-man lead for Xenix. Adam holding the angle onto the site. Will a player come forward if he's risking this? Finds 1. Will he push the smoke?
Be heading over towards Forkler, just dancing a dance. It's going to be ever so uncomfortable, somehow getting away with this as Hype finds the pick on towards Shaney. Pickles, though, reverses it, snaps on towards his head, and it puts us in a 1v1. Adam still left standing, and he has a chance to push this one even further. 20 seconds. Pickles has to play into his hands. Adam, USP in hand, looking to make it work with just a pistol at this point. Doesn't quite want to risk it with that AWP. He's still dancing ever so comfortably over towards Quad, but who is going to come trumps as Pickles? He catches the shot, and from there, continues to spray, and that will net him the win required. Not quite going to get a bomb plant, but a win nonetheless. And it ushers Xenix onto the board.
Shaney, 2 early frags in mid. That player crouching behind sandbags, holding the angles if they push out. That's fine. The problem is, though, you need to be standing. Because that way, what Shaney did there does not happen. He squats the shoulder and rips it clean off.
Early damage to be put straight through the metal sheeting over on mid, so Cray going to be knocked down just a tad. Nothing too major, but still knocked down to 76 HP, so value left to be claimed. Of course, the rest of the CT side are going to begin to set themselves up with a bit of aggression, and Adam, a long-range CZ shot. Now, that's not something you see every single day.
Something you don't see every day as well is a force buy from Ufrag.
Yeah, it's certainly a welcome change. Molotov is going to go in towards Zent's forces, popping out of position. JT now looking to make a play off the back of that, gets swatted out by Adam over towards mid. Cray now looking to use that to his advantage, as he will take the fight. and gets the reward. JT will fall. Darcy with a trade. Dom with the ADP yet again over towards Quad. Now they're standing, looking for just another to add up on towards this body count, which is ever so growing. How far is he willing to go?
Pickles does have the Molotov. Instead it's going to be Darcy's facing. But instant reply there from Pommy. Pickles in the 1 versus 3. Has the bomb. Pommy wins it. 4-1. Ufrag win the force buy. And now we're seeing Xenix money in tatters. Peggy's on 1.4k, so they might have to force buy this.
Yeah, the reset was just, it's so brutal to them at this point. With Ufrag well and truly breaking through the red band, and from there, Xenix kind of left sitting down and going, okay, this was not the start we expected off the back of how well they were doing on Dust 2.
Yep.
Ufrag can contesting them very well, and now for Xenix, it's all in towards B. It can go one of two directions, especially with how much damage Pommy's inflicting. Look at their HP. Pommy, a double kill for him. Hype gonna burn away through the smoke. Pommy now with the USP looking to put the final nail in the coffin. And there you have it. Xenix, have fun paying those funeral bills.
Another eco coming from Xenix here. They won the AWP and they want the utility. This could show or be a sign that they might go for an execute towards A maybe. We've seen them do it earlier before with the Molotovs and the flashes. It did work out for them. The problem is though, the flashes are what are the most important thing right now because they know Dom is AWPing towards A, but Pickles faces early on. No one's watching mid. Adam Kobe's him and gets the instant reply, but this is a 4 versus 4. Peggy and Dances with the Deagle. This is scary. Actually playing retake here. Craze only got an AK, so gonna have to be spraying these players down, but Adam is on the rotate to highway, whiffs the spray initially, but does find a frag, and a second one and a third on the unarmored opponents. JT in the 1 versus 4 now. Just trying to take a few guns out of their hands. I don't really see him winning this in any word, shape, or of the form. Anyway, right now it's going to be Adam Singer 8 frags. It's more than he had in the previous whole game. Only 8 rounds in, so great play from him so far. Can he carry it through for the rest of this map? Right now it's Ufrag sitting at 6-1. Maybe I was the problem on the CT side.
Snods, he was the problem. This is the improvement. Ufrag up to 6-1 at this point. You talk about frags in the last map, and it certainly has got to be said that Adam, just because he has 8 frags in the last map, it's about impact at the end of the day.
Yeah, they were ecos, but at the end of the day, frags are frags, and sometimes they can lead to confidence, and you can see it right here, playing aggressive for the boost. I don't think Piggy heard it, but he's watching for it, and now Pommy.
Timing. Granted an opportunity. Some second thoughts will be had, and Peggy just there to almost caress the angle.
The molly comes out. Does he face now that he knows the players have a molly in their hands? He's burning alive. Faces and actually wins it. Pommy manages to peg Peggy.
The fact that Pommy gets away with that on 5 HP just works it out just enough to give him the time to play back through that Molotov, as that could have killed him right there and then. So incredibly smart stuff coming out from him.
5 HP. Calculated.
Such an advantage. Calculated, certainly has to be said. Xenix begin to set themselves up. An alluring strategy that consists of hitting that B site hard and fast and just not quite stopping. But you have to look at the CT side setup. This is almost ready and waiting. Ufrag in this case have not fallen hook, line and sinker. If anything, the real trap is set to the T side as they begin their push. And the CT side going to do their job. Well, so far so good. Dom and Pommy, they combine. They find themselves picked respectively. Hype going to look to drop them dead, and the spray down for him. Great work coming in from Ufrag yet again. And Xenix, they thought they had the upper hand, but in fact they were being played all along.
Maybe the pressure's getting to them right now, because if they win this map, they do make the playoffs. But at the moment, it's not looking too good.
7-1 now. We made this comment on Train, various maps in the past as well. When is that lining that says Xenix, the value is over, now you really have to start doing something or it is going to get too far?
If Ufrag reach double digits here and get 3 more rounds, and they will be getting this one potentially because the unarmored opponents may just mean it might be a clean, free round here for Ufrag, and that's actually going to be 2 already on the board. JT is trying to find a reply. Does dink up Pommy quite low, 25 HP. Still pushing towards highway now, sees where Dom is, but from that nade, he gets a nice headshot there. Can he get any more? No, he can't because he's instantly traded up by Hype. Now it's a 2 versus 4. Shaney with the Deagle trying to find anything he can, but doesn't net anything. And Peggy jumping in midair, but unfortunately, Adam's on the ball this game. Takes down Peggy. 8-1. Oh, and support's coming out. This is tactical.
It's got to be tactical at this point, and the timing, yeah, again, maybe a bit too far into things, but nonetheless, still an opportunity and a very clear one at that for them to bring things back. But here's an interesting topic for you then, and we talk about this quite a lot in various different contexts.
Yep.
You know, I'm trying to come up with a solution for Xenix right now in terms of going, okay, you know, if I was standing behind them, what would I say?
A site, in my opinion.
I'd actually lean towards that. I'd say I want to see a proper execute, because it doesn't really feel like we've really seen something that involves actual calculated smokes, you know, such as quad corner, actually playing around something up towards railings on heaven, actually just blocking off these positions. What it feels like they're doing is just throwing, okay, we're going to do this execute that involves a lot of Molotovs and a lot of flashes, but the smokes seem to be a bit all over the place. And one
It's
key
the
thing,
flashes as well.
it's that quad cross that's constantly been shutting them down.
Well,
They've just left it unsmoked. They've always been Molotoving it.
They've seen Dom been opening on A site a fair few times towards quad. Smoke hallway, have the player squeaky, smoke quad. It's not really too needed, but personally, I wouldn't do the quad smoke, because what it means is all Dom has to do is put out his CZ and then have players jump through a smoke into his spray. Unless they flash, which hopefully they do.
Well, that's the big point in itself, really, isn't it? It's not that there's not different options. There are multiple different ways they can take the A site. It's about them really coming up with something different than what they're doing currently, because right now, it has to be said, they're still leaving those windows open.
Interestingly as well, the utility, and they've got so many rounds on the board. If Xenix did go for the A site execute, Ufrag could potentially play a retake and still win it.
Oh, when you word it like that, it certainly is almost an agreeable point as well, because you have to remember, Ufrag, they are a team that once they can get themselves going, when does the brakes finally get placed on for them? As right now, their pedals, well, or their feet, sorry, should we say, well and truly full speed.
I mean, we saw Xenix win both pistols in the previous map, and you can see how the momentum is instantly taken away from them as soon as they don't have those pistol rounds, and the momentum from said pistol rounds behind them. Instead, they're looking at a 7-round deficit. Money is good. Look at Peggy hasn't bought yet. The question is, do they buy the AWP? That's what they're talking about right now. Is Shane's AWP worth the investment? In my eyes, yes it is, because the one round they have is the one round Shane got the 2 kills. You know you're playing against heavy AWPers. Do you opt to buy the AWP and try to challenge them, or buy the AKs and try and do the execute? And I believe, yeah, Peggy bought AK, so potentially seeing more of an execute-based style, not going for the picks, maybe even play fast. We could see a fast set play here, but the players are ready and the round does go live. This is the round that can really change the half and the whole game and the whole season for Xenix.
Here we go. We're about to get straight back into this one. Xenix, of course, pressure well and truly on their shoulders. Let's hope they can plug those cracks, as they well and truly need to, if they want to put themselves back in a position that is worth fighting for. 5 flat rifles, as mentioned, a utility in their back pockets. Pommy already looking to go aggressive and shut down Darcy's, and they're going to do it to almost perfection. There's one man already left to fall. Shaney, maybe looking for one of his own. Very still spread out style coming from Xenix, almost a bit of a default and standard. Eventually going to get themselves ready to push on towards this B site, and it is just one man, but the rotate, it's going to be quick enough to buy them enough time. Adam, he's over towards CT. He's ready and waiting.
This is the X I was talking about. Molly's come through, but there's no flash right now. That's what happens. Adam, that's a nice shot there from Pickles. Adam falls, and right now Hype does as well. Shenny finds that frag to Hype. It's the 4 versus 3. Low HP Dom. AWP as well, but the Molotovs, look at all those nades they have. They can flush out so many points here, so many angles, but instead Dom shot peek towards the B-bomb site. And smartly, that's the next player. Flashes before he peeks into Dom's AWP. And at this point, you 8-1 up. Just save your economy, and Pommy gets sprayed through the smoke, and Dom tries to do what he can, but tags that player instead. Shaney stays alive, and it will be the save.
Unfortunately, tagging and damage is just not quite enough in that
Yeah,
scenario.
big difference there.
You need a little bit more than just to tag someone down, because, Pickles, you can get knocked down to 30 HP. What does that change? They've still got the bomb down. It's still going to be eventually leading to a point of inevitable explosion, and from there, Xenix, they still get the round. So at the end of the day, Ufrag, their economy, much more valuable.
Yeah, especially on the CT side as well. Having the AWPs, because they have been running the double AWP setup, and it has been working very well for them. Dom still has the AWP. Will Adam buy one for himself, or will they stick to 4 rifles and 1 AWP? And then begs the question, does Dom throw the AWP over to Adam? But instead, we are seeing Adam on the rifle and on the AWP. How will Dom play? Let's see, he's going towards mid now. He's actually been the solo mid player. We're going to be seeing 3 towards B. They're trying to get early map control. I do like this, actually. JT maybe caught off guard, or will he step up to the moment? Fight 1! Can he get any more points? 2 of that player's low. Adam's only on 7 HP right now. He's going to face. Does he get it? Yes, he does. That's 3 frags for JT. We might be seeing 8-3 right now, because it's going to be Pickles pushing in towards Checkers now, trying to find anything else. Dom on the rotate though, but he's smoked off. Just the player doesn't quite hit that flick. That's, oh my god, did he tag him? He's only 2 HP, I'm not too sure, but anyway. Doesn't get that frag. Peggy finds him. Hype through the vent wall. Finds JT. We've seen him do a 1 versus 5 before. But this is something else.
It's a whole different affair, a whole different site, a whole different
bowl
map.
of noodles.
As his work is going to be well and truly cut out for him, and he's going to be backstabbed from behind as Darcy's
Oh, the spray on the body as well. Trying to get into the head.
really going to lay all that lead down. And this is kind of the big point that we were trying to make in terms of economy. Now, as much as people may look at them and go, guys, they have 10k economy, why are you saying that Ufrag are going to be in a struggling point? Well, the reasoning behind that is that, look at it now. Look at it after they've had to buy it again going into this round. That 10, that 11k, it rapidly runs out, and it gets to a point where they will...
Especially when you have 2 orbs.
Especially when you have a double op setup, because that's just even more costly.
Two ops on the CT side means they shall play passive. Hype flash off the angles. Going to see Dom on the rifle. He was playing well with the op, to be fair, but unfortunately for him, he didn't really get too much done with it. And now he's on the A-bomb site alone. They spot popping events. He does play there quite a lot. Whenever I cast him, I always see him in events. So we might see JT line up on Molly here. Actually, doesn't have a Molly. I take that back. One of these T players might line up on Molly towards Pommy, but anyway. The flash towards mid comes out, but there's still nothing to come about from it. Dance is open, squeaky door, spots nothing. The flash comes out towards quad. Let's see if he can capitalize off this. Pushing onto the side, finds the spray onto Dom. Any more? Yes, he does! Finds the second kill, then it's going to be the 5 versus 3. Pommy has to try and take away my moment there. Makes it a 4 versus 3 now. Kits on through these players, but the utility is fairly low as they don't have any smokes, and JT finds one. Hype with the orb, finds a kill. Oh my god, he doesn't actually look like he was dead on him.
Might have been dead on him, but it wasn't quite precise enough, as it won't quite find the frag. And from there, things rapidly begin to dwindle down to the same old whittling point. Xenix, they're going to get themselves just another round. Get on towards the 4th at that, and you got to look at this and go, okay, Ufrag, they built up so much, but they didn't get to double digits. That was the real narrative that we hit towards. Xenix, they're now on 4. We could be looking at them to keep up a good fight.
It can still be 11-4, but right now the momentum is in favour of Xenix.
Yeah. It has been back-to-back rounds, though, and that's got to be said.
Hyper stays alive with the orb. Still 3 more rounds to play. Look at the money.
It just keeps on whittling down.
They had 10k in the previous round, and now buying those 2 orbs, that's 9 or 8,750 or so dollars worth of investment. You can see them are now 2,000 or so. 8-4. Xenix with the momentum for sure, and now Shaney has the orb. But he's going to be battling versus 2. Adam trying to get aggressive towards A, but he's flashed off the angle. So now he shall hold a more passive one towards quad, but right now there's no T players to find or to give away their life. We're still seeing the slow play coming out. And with 2 orbs, hopefully one of these might get aggressive eventually in the mid-round. Try and make it a 4 versus 5 in their favour, because in the retakes, double orb setup isn't going to work for them. Unless some very good mechanics come out. And if they lose this, they're on the reset. And we could be looking at 8-6, maybe even 9-6. Or sorry, 8-7. Still though, Ufrag have won the half. It's going into that next half. On their T side, we saw what happened on Dust 2. The T side wasn't quite strong enough, and that was on their map pick. We don't know about their cash play just yet. Pommy trying to see if he can find anything through the smoke, but there's nothing there. And these players are slowly shifting into Hype's orb.
He's going to set himself up now to go for that first shot. See, moves himself over towards the back lines of the B site, but he's got his work cut out for him and needs that crossfire from heaven to be well and truly intact and done right, because if it fails, Hype's job increases exponentially, but he finds himself that first pick. Peggy, though, looking for a double kill. Cray is going to punish Dance. He's on towards Hype, though. They don't quite get enough, and it's going to be an extra awkward predicament for them at this point, as Xenix. Took a while for them to commit, but they finally got themselves onto the site. The Ufrag there ready and waiting, but Shaney back on towards Cray yet again.
And now there's no one watching Vent.
Ready and waiting to drop down in towards Vent. As you mentioned, there is no greeting party there to meet. But something tells me at some point, we are going to see that position get changed up from Shaney, which is what's going to be the case, but Pickle's not quite clocking onto the fact that angle is open. That enables Adam to get something done, but Pommy, blind and confused, peeks dead set in towards Dancy. Shaney gets the easy pick on towards Adam. And Ufrag, they had a chance, but it still gets pulled out from right underneath the feet as Xenix, should we say, keep on pushing forward. And I've got to say, as much as I want to look towards the second half and see if Ufrag can do it at T side, the biggest thing for me right now is that there's such a vast difference between a 10-5 and what this 8-7 could be, because it's a momentum going into the second half. It's whether Zenix actually have a lot more rounds to play with. And for Ufrag, yes, they got to 8, but they have struggled to move past that. That has been the invisible barrier that has kept them locked down.
I mean, you have 8 rounds. You've already won the half. Maybe they got a bit too comfortable. Maybe they tried to change what was working for them. And that change of pace has definitely gone in favor right now of Zenix, as they do have all the momentum in this half. As of right now, Dom pushing towards a main. I like this. But what I won't like is if he dies right now, because Shane's holding that ankle, finds the frag, 5 versus 4. Cray's going to go for the peak as well. Oh, that nade might just kill Pickles. Oh, it does. Shane dies. Pickles was tagged up as well, but he does still have his life. All 45 of it.
So next they begin to formulate themselves up towards a pretty structured A-site push. What is the end goal of this? Because right now we've seen sort of the starter where they get themselves in position to throw some utility, get some smokes out and such, but really it's very unclear what that end segment is going to be. Are they just going to push out through a main and split on through? Well, that's what we're seeing. They're going over towards Forklift, but Adam crackles straight on towards the cranium of Pickles. Darcy gets a 2k, but it's not quite enough. Hyper 3k picked up for himself. JT going to steal it on away though as he shuts him down. It leaves us back pitted in a 1v1. JT versus Pommy. Two incredibly talented players, two known for their ability to potentially clutch out these rounds, and it all comes down to just that potential. That is the buzzword of the moment as Posy going to begin to move himself up close and personal, diving around this red container, gets the elevated angle, so should have the opportunity for a jump here, but JT times it perfectly and gets the shot right on the head of Pommy, and that is the target he is so desperately needed.
Yeah.
Zenix now on 6, and look at the economy of Ufrag.
Pommy, not quite known for his clutches, as you just said there.
I've seen him do some pretty nutty stuff in the past.
I feel like Pommy's impact's so good in the early to mid round. The problem is, he's playing versus JT, and in my eyes, if you want anyone clutching for Zenix, it's JT or Dancy's. And JT pulls through and wins that 1 versus 1. And now Shane boost on mid, can he find the frag? Oh, spots the player though, he knows there's one connector. But does he know there's one close to him underneath him? Peggy finds the frag onto Hype. This push B doesn't work because Adam pulls back, but Hype is still in full force. And we might be seeing 8-7 if this round unfolds as it should do. When you look at the firepower on the Phalanxes and the CZ versus the AWP and 4 AKs.
It's almost a throwback to that turning point of the 8th or even 7th round of that, where we started talking about the possibility of an 8-7. Well, here's the realization of that as we're in the 15th round. There's only 2 ways this can go, as already Pickles is going to find that first shot on towards Dom. Peggy with a second on towards Adam, and bit by bit, Ufrag their CT side.
Again though.
Well, diminishing returns. 2 players remaining. Over towards CT is one. You know that ready to come in through a main. And Pommy, if he's not quick enough, he's going to be caught by the AWP, and well, he's just too damn slow. Shaney there to pick him off.
Yep.
Great over towards CT, body left of one car, and there's the 8-7.
Again though, Adam makes the call to push a main, but he's 3 or so seconds behind his teammate, and that is a massive difference in Counter-Strike. Every second matters, and right now, it's 8-7. 15 rounds have been played out, and this pistol could really determine the half. Will we see the momentum pivot towards Ufrag, and will they go in the lead once again, as they did in the first half? Zenix is the win pistol. We could be looking at 10-8. And at that point, it really does come down to that first gun round.
In terms of a predictive point of view, I am leaning towards Zenix at this point, because Ufrag, the way things have gone so far, it's been so uncomfortable. Shaney, what a way to start. A clean shot at that on towards Adam, very surgical in the way he's approaching it, and from there, well, they can begin to maneuver themselves to go for just a comfortable CT side setup. They're waiting for Ufrag to come on through, and, well, it's almost just a Christmas present come early, that first pick.
So, the idea of this strat, wall of soaks mid, block the vision for that player that was Shaney in mid, go fast vent and split B. Problem is, if you peek before the smokes land, there's not really much point in throwing them.
It's nice from Cray, though, to get himself in towards connector, because he's trying to fix what just didn't quite work, but Shaney, again, just flicks back with the surgical gloves and punishes Cray for trying to make a play, trying to fix what didn't quite work. And, well, now it's a 2-man disadvantage for Ufrag. Something's exponentially growing as now they pivot. They go over towards the A site. Shaney now looking to land even more shots. Just another on towards Pommy. Pickle. He's going to find one on towards Dom. Hype, the first frag to be claimed for Ufrag. But he's also the last man remaining, and Dancy's more than happy to end his life in a swift fashion.
1 pistol in favor of Ufrag, 1 pistol in favor of Zenix right now, 1-1, 8-8. This is a very, very close game, but right now Zenix win the pistol, so we should be seeing them go to 10-8 as long as no mishaps happen. Do Ufrag go for the force pipe? generally don't see it, and it's looking like with 4 Glocks they won't be. We saw in the first map, they did this exact same thing, and then following around they bought Galils to try and catch the CTs off guard. But I don't think Zenit's going to be caught off guard once again. But to talk about that round, Shenny pre-firing the mid, pre-firing that mid-main position, kills Adam, and stops that round, and now looking after what's happened after the pistol round, no armor on these players. Just an easy maul for these SMGs. Adam trying to get another frag, actually does. Didn't get any more though, spraying, runs out of bullets. Both of these players run out of bullets actually. Shenny gets a nice $300 then, a nice headshot onto Adam, 9-8. Did they go for that Galil Force again? It worked from the first game, but Zenix were caught off guard. Will they be caught off guard again? This is a hard call for Adam.
It's got to be predictable.
It's
That's
safe.
got to be the
Yep.
card to be played here. It's just something that when you do it in the first map of a series, it's always going to be in the back of the mind of your opposition in that second map. So I can certainly agree with Adam in this play. It's smart for them to sit back. They have certainly some rounds to play. The difference is by all means just a couple of rounds at that potentially, as it's looking like it is going to be shaping up to be that 10-8.
Is he caught another one?
And Adam get away with just another Glock frag. 3 for him in the past 2 rounds. Pickles finally looking to mop things up, and a bomb plant for Ufrag as well.
Another one.
Win-win for them, an ace for Pickles.
Yeah, non-armor opponent. It's not really that much of an impact. It will pad his stats slightly.
I think I'll take it.
Oh, he'll definitely take it, especially for the money as well. Let's take a look at the frags. 16, 14 for Pickles, 13 for Danciers. Peggy 6 for 13, but so far he hasn't really needed to step up in this game.
What I like about the scoreboard is, for the most part, it's relatively balanced. It's
Yeah.
not just one guy stepping up and going 36-12 or whatever to carry them through to the end. It's a nice balanced scoreboard. Yes, there are a couple of players sitting down behind, but then you can always argue they're fulfilling their own job as well.
Something to talk about, players filling their role. He's Dom. He's only on 6 frags, and yes, Adam had a poor showing in terms of frags in the first map, but what Adam brings to a team isn't his individual skill. Communication, comms, calls,
His
the
brain.
work he puts in. Brain, yes, exactly. Dom, on the other hand, isn't quite the smartest player. He's more of that hot-headed, really intense aim, really fast-flicking sort of aim, lots of frags. And right now, without the frags, does bode the question, what is he giving you frag in this game?
We talked about this at the start, the fire and ice sort of setup. Well, he can be as hot as boiling temperature at some point, but he can also be just that sub-zero temperature where he just doesn't quite get anything done. That's the 2 direct contrasts, and unfortunately, Ufrag, they just have to handle it. Adam stepping up, it does the job. Dom actually going to find
That's a
the
whiff.
first pick. Tommy, a quick second on towards JT, so as much as we may knock, still, he finds that opening. It's enough. Ufrag, they have control of the B site. Zenix, pitch for a retake. Peggy caught towards vents. Hype, there is the cue of that frag. Pickles straight through the
Fade
shade.
away.
Why not?
Is it a save? Yes, it shall be. So Zenix saved this 9-10. Zenix still 1 round in the lead. Their money is still strong though, so they will have a buy into the next one. If Ufrag lose this,
It could be pretty painful, suffice to say, if Ufrag lose this. I think that certainly is a point that has to be merited straight off the bat, because their economy is going to be in tatters. Are we going to see a very fast-paced Ufrag where they just push on towards these sites nice and quickly? You know, always very concurrent to the way
I
they've been
highly
splitting?
doubt it.
Or is it going to be the de facto standard, as you mentioned, the historic Ufrag, where they're nice and slow and well thought out? Because, to be honest, thinking about Ufrag's T-side, my one concern can sometimes be just how slow they can tender, which, for Xenex, that's something they can open up to, especially with the double op setup, which they're now fielding.
We mentioned in the previous half, the 2 orcs does destroy your economy if it doesn't work out for you. But let's talk about the T-side play. They're slow and steady, but there's also executes to play with, as these players are drilled. They have been playing with Dom for a few weeks. Shaney, will he catch the hand of Adam? He saw the scope! Adam the pre-fire puts him to 50 HP, and now they know exactly where he is. He flashes and gets out. That's smart. Can he get any frags? No, he can't, because there's a nice shot there from Pommy. 1-man lead already for Ufrag.
Pickles absolutely pivotal over towards quad. A lot of work for him to achieve as he finds himself his first
Oh
back,
my
a second, and potentially even a third, and he gets away with it. Eventually will be traded out by Hypers. Pommy tries to claw things back, but is it going to be enough? A 2v2. The cards have well and truly been pitched. The tent of Pickles is going to be there to try and make it work, or Pommy, should I say. But nonetheless, Artie's over towards Card, got that orb, and it's going to be bearing down on towards the position. Flicks towards Forklift. It's going to be a 1-for-1 affair. Because now it's two Orps facing off against each other. The peak is going to come out from a hype. He's holding the angle. He knows exactly what is being done, but they both respectively miss the shots. Darcy, he goes for the repeak, and he gets away with it. A round back for Xenix.
They got the bomb down, though. Money in terms of frag. Let's take a look at it going into this round. I believe they still have the buy.
As much as they got the bomb down, it's still heartbreaking to see it go that direction, because you look at their
you say that, but the thing is, you've got to think about how, I don't want to say lucky, or I want to say how unfortunate that frag was for JT, because
for sure.
He's spraying him down, Pommy crutches up, instantly flicks him. 9 out of 10 times, I really do feel like JT wins that. You can talk about it being heartbreaking for Ufrag, but I feel like it's more heartbreaking for Xenix if they had lost that.
The build-up.
I don't want to say the I don't want to say the scoreline for PC reasons. Got to be politically correct here, but anyway. 11-9 is the scoreline in favor of Xenix.
Still, a whole lot of pent-up aggression from the side of Ufrag, looking like Dom and Pommy want to combine and yet again be this dynamic duo as they field their way through that pit of B main, and from there, the closer they get, the tougher the task, but also the bigger the reward, because the reward is that B site. That's where they want to get themselves on. And it has been their old faithful, if we're fair. It's where they've been going quite a lot of the time, and it's worked, but also
when they had the first frag.
Yeah, they have to get that first pick, and that's where the double-edged sword lies. Or lies, should we say. Darcy sitting ever so daintily perched in the edge of that smoke, and he could be so strong in the way he approaches this. As we're actually seeing a bit of a reverse boost come out from Ufrag. Clearly a separate game plan, and this is where Shaney now gets to shine a light of his own.
Yeah, the bomb. Adam had the bomb. That gives it away that they are not going for an execute towards the site just yet. 2 frags found in mid right now. Dom though. Dom versus 1, he wins it. That's a nice headshot, but instantly traded up by Dancy's. 2 versus 4. Hype on the AWP. He needs to find a pick here. Nice and slow. Play contact off his AWP. The problem is though, Shaney is holding that angle. Oh, that's a nice play there. Baits up the shot, Shaney whiffs it, and now it's all down to Dances on this B-bomb site. Peeks out, but Hype gets that shot. And Dances falls. 15 seconds left. 2 versus 3. 7 HP, this might be a dunk. No, it's not, because Hype is right now under heaven, watching towards vent, but he's jumping around. Can Peggy catch him off guard?
Making a whole lot of noise. Flashes are going to go off. Peggy is going to push, but Hype gets the no-scope. Cray finds one of his own. Shaney will tap on away with the pistol. He's 100 HP. Cray has fallen, of course, but it is Hype 7 HP as well on his name. It's just so low at this point, and it just makes it so easy for Shaney to tap with that pistol.
That was well played.
Well played, and there's certainly a huge amount of factors that play into things. Cray, of course, Dom, 2 names that still sit upon my lips, but nonetheless, it's a round for Xenix.
The jump there, Hype, you saw what happened as soon as Shaney made the jump noise. He started peeking out because he thinks that Shaney's fallen down. Instead, Shaney baits out Hype there and wins it with the P250.
Not sure if this is technical or
yeah,
tactical.
Yeah, it's tactical. Tactical timeout for Ufrag. Right now, what they've been doing has not been working. Going towards the B site worked initially, but Dances was giving away his frag at that point. Now he's playing more passive. The same cannot be said. They're not winning those rounds towards B. Instead, I believe they should go more towards mid.
Well, mid on cash is, if you take control of mid, you can go anywhere on the map.
Yeah, highway especially. If you're the AWPer, if you're Adam, smoke off connector, get out boost fast, peek the same as we saw Shaney do. Peek connector, peek white box, peek towards the sandbags. So if you have control of mid, go to white box and face quad.
Well, you talk about mid, and feel free to interject here, and if you want to dig on 20 points specifically, but we actually saw that peek come in from Adam, right? And the problem with that was he had a bomb. But without the bomb and anything like that, that actually could have been fairly useful, because then Dom had the position that was completely unexpected. They had no idea someone was pushed out that far into B. But then there's the element of the fact that Dances was tucked into that corner. If you take away that player tucked into corner, we could have saw an impact frag that then led Dom to push in towards CT. We could have saw something, albeit very advanced. But it's a whole lot of what ifs.
JT wouldn't have been in the position he was if Dances wasn't there. He wouldn't be holding off towards checkers if Dances wasn't watching B main. Instead, he'll be default, hiding, watching B main. So even though Dom came out of checkers, he wouldn't have been able to see JT. I hope, anyway. That makes sense in my head.
I can see what you're getting at. It certainly makes sense. You know, of course, there's still the counterpoint of perhaps Dom will just push straight through into CT. But either way,
who knows? It's
a whole lot of what ifs yet again, and it's a theoretic at that. But nonetheless, it is a 9-12 scoreline. Ufrag, they need to make a change, and it's a smart portion then to make a change now.
Yeah, and it's not too late.
It's not too late, and I think that's the biggest factor, because a lot of teams, they do fall into that trap. They get lured to take a pause, you know, when we're looking at 15-13 and such, when they have no money. So it's all about timing it perfectly. And right now, Ufrag, they don't have any money in the context of this. They're in what more than likely shapes up to be an eco. But we're looking at what? If they eco here, 9-13, From there, UFrag, they can go into that buy. They win that round. They can start to break down through Xenix yet again. And from there, well, we can look to see the comeback happen 12-12. That's not that big of a difference.
For me, the comeback has to happen if they break the money of Xenix.
Yeah.
And right now, Xenix money is awful. So the question is, do you force right now and try and break that economy, make it 10, 12, play them on the eco, 11, 12.
Well, you talk about forcing. Let's look at their money then. So
12, it could be 12-12. If they win this round, it could be 12-12. The problem is they need to win that, and that's the call right now. Do we force or do we save?
5,450 on Pommy, Cray with $4,000 as well. The more complex is the three players, the core top three of Adam, Dom, and Hype, because they are on the lower amounts. Now, you know, it has to be said, what can they actually do with that amount of economy? Because 3,000,
they're forcing it.
That's Tech 9s, that's utility. They are going to be forcing it, as we can see.
I like the call, though. I do like this call. If they win this round, 12-12. As long as they don't mess up any of the ecos.
If they don't.
If they don't, we could be seeing Xenix in the playoffs.
That also has to be said, if they don't. The complete, yet again, double-edged side.
Yep.
3 Tech 9s, 2 AK-47s. UFrag, well, our prayers are with you, because this is all or nothing for you. You have to make this one work. They begin to set themselves up for what looks like an A execute. Clean at that. UFrag.
So, 3 Tech 9s, 2 AKs. Allow the AKs to peek onto the side after the smoke fade. Or will they go for the fast execute? Let's see what happens. Tech 9 surely jump out forklift. Let's see. Molly out from Peggy. Holding the line now with an SMG. Sees the first player sprays. It doesn't quite get too much going on, but does find the frag. Don falls. Adam the reply. Takes him down. Now it's the 4 versus 4. These players on the side. The AKs are there too. But the CTs, they're smoked off and the retakes should happen. Look at the economy as well. Or the utility rather. Pickles on the Molotov. He should be Molly in quad or forklift. His decision right now. But he throws it slightly too early because the retake hasn't started just yet. Those smokes are still there, so I don't really agree with that Molotov, but the spray comes through. Pobby nails JT through the smoke, and Pickles almost with a reply. But instead, down to the Mag 7, jumping through that smoke. Let's see what we can make happen. Jumping, catches the head of Pommy there, but it's Craig to open up the squeaky door and find the frag onto Pickles. Now Adam darting around this quad site, catches him, dart is flashed off. Caught off guard, Shaney now the 1 versus 3, falls as Hype peeks out. They win the force, and now look at the money on Xenix. Yeah, 2,000, and right now they're going to force this. Are they going to force it? JT's a 1.4. Surely they force this.
Oh, what's left to be said while we wait to see their decision is the what if of UFrag. What if they lose?
They're actually going to say this. So they
win.
This means JT will have a FAMAS or a UMP into the next round. Fair play. I mean, what difference does the M4 and the FAMAS have? Yes, it's quite a big difference in the firepower, but is it worth a whole round? Anyway, Cray holding for that squeaky push. See what happens.
UFrag got their eyes well and truly set on towards mid this time around, as Dom just going to be sitting ever so tightly on boost, and this is about them making sure that they don't see any fancy aggression from Xenix in terms of these boost dives or anything vent related and the such. So I do like what they're doing. It's about them making sure they can keep things together, because right now we're seeing a squeaky push. Now they're not quite checking for that. That could catch them off guard. That could be the sideline, as A main is going to be peaked. Hype there to clean the life of Peggy, and bit by bit players are beginning to be punched on down. How far are UFrag willing to go, and most importantly, are they still watching their behind? Looking for that headshot on towards Shane. He gets it with ease. Looking towards Car now, and they need to just keep flicking all over the place. They do it with nice, comfortable success. A good, clean round coming out from UFrag, which is most important because of their economy, because we knew that force was a risk. Once they're on that buy, they want to start stabilizing it, apply a band-aid to the economy, get themselves to 5,750 on Dom, for example. And especially now with another save coming out from Xenix, this is prime time territory for UFrag to make this happen, because unless we're going to see these deagles go huge, which
it's
hold
a
our breath on that one.
And it's definitely worked out. I said if they won that round, we could be seeing 12-12. Unless JT with this PT50 can work on magic. We shall be seeing the equalised scoreline.
Pommy begins to worm his way out through mid, looking for that initial pick, and yet again gets it on towards Peggy. Of course, there is that concerning factor of just how close the CD sides still are, and JT will find one, but I don't know, not quite really enough. Dante has to go huge. He's unable to succeed, of course. It's just on the pistol, so can't expect too much, but nonetheless, it is the result expected. UFrag, they get themselves to 12-12, and from there, their economy going to be in such a prime spot in comparison. Xenix, they say first, they put their all into getting here. They've allowed UFrag to equalize things. A double op setup. It better be worth it.
Especially because if they lose this, UFrag will finally be in, well, not finally be in the lead, but for the
They're in the
second
driver's
half,
seat, most
for
importantly.
the second half, they will finally be in the lead. Especially because the money as well. If they win this, We could be Zenix going down. Sorry, Ufrag going up to 14. And Zenix staying at 12. Nothing too fancy coming out, but there is no T players towards B. But there's also no one pushing on Zenix's side towards B, so still stalemate. Third Molotov there. Means that Peggy will not be flushed out when he catches with God. Dom wins it. Any more frags to come? Let's see. Cray sprays that player, but JT finds one. Instantly tread out by Dom. In a flurry of seconds, we're looking at a 4 versus 2 and a 2-man lead for Ufrag, and we might be seeing them knock Zenix not out of the playoffs, but not allow them into the playoffs.
At the end of the day, it is still a key being turned and a lock being tightened, as if they don't get there, they don't get there, no matter the means. And Ufrag, well, out of spite or just the fact they want the money, nonetheless, they're playing for this one. They want it as Dancy is going to find a first. And a quick second now looking for a third. Hype is going to shut him down close and personal. But Shaney, he's still there standing. And by all means, he's not just going to let them have it. He's going to be there to really try and shut them down, as he's now looking to decide, okay, do I want to go aggressive through this smoke? Do I want to bide my time? As the Molotov is going to be there to replace the afterthought of the smoke. He's got a smoke of his own as well, bear in mind, but doesn't quite have an upgraded sidearm, so USP is what he'll have to whip out if he decides to go up close and personal. Can just decide to stay scoped in as well, as he is just going to sit bit by bit. Needs to realize that a player could be headshot. So he does drop down that smoke, and he's going to go for the quick face. Goes for a huge no-scope, but Cray is going to find the headshot, and Ufrag Streams, they're saved. 13-12 is going to be the scoreline. You can certainly tell Ufrag here are scared for a second, and we might be on the edge of our seats, but it still is Ufrag in the driver's seat as expected.
We're standing up, we're already sitting down.
Zenix, they have no money. Yet again, they're back on the save. We have armor on towards Pickles. But that careful of that smoke on JT, the value really isn't going to be there. They're trying to, of course, do some damage. But we're getting closer and closer to the end. Dom looking for that first pick and gets it.
He does indeed. Already the 1-man lead for Ufrag. Zenix allowing Ufrag to hit that 14, that magical 14. They're going to need 4 rounds in a row if they want to avoid overtime. That's a big ask, because Hype has found another frag in mid. Shaney falls. Looks like we're looking at 14-12, and at that point, it's anyone's game.
Tommy just going to find another on towards Dancy's, and every single frag means something to these players, because every frag they find, there's just that extra bit of confidence instilled into them that, you know what, they can do this. It's that voice in the back of their mind saying, you've got this, you can make it work. And for Ufrag, that has such a huge effect on them as individuals and as a whole team. So this is just everything they want at this point. Peggy will try and go for a bit of a counterplay through the smoke and do some more damage, and will get himself a pick. But yet again, it is going to be Cray to tray things back out. And there is the scoreline, 14-12. Zenix, perhaps what could be their last and almost final hurrah with these rifles. The true testing point. They have an option. Do they want an AWP to be bought? Dancy's can make that decision. He's going to opt for just a rifle instead. So 5 flat rifles. They've got strong utility. But this is it for them. This is where they have to put up on a show. Zenix, all eyes are on you.
No AWP, so we may be seeing some aggression coming out from the CT side, but it's looking like they want to play passive and allow the T's to walk into them. Adam with the AWP, he will have time to find a pick here and there, but it's looking like the execute towards A. And it's Pickles here to hold the line. Throws and chucks out the HE grenade, so they may know where he is. They're still smoked off. Peggy now from heaven. Can he find any frags? They'll spot the players out, so they know it's A. Flashed off multiple times. They'll spot the players out. Gets one. It's going to be Pickles there. Finds the frag onto Pommy, but it's Pickles with the second one. Great. And Hype to try and do this. Gets one, but the spray does not connect to that second player. Pickles takes him. Third for him this round. Hype in the 1 versus 3. We've seen him doing amazing things in this best of 2, and he gets one. Can he get the second? And following that, the third.
So it looks like he has an inkling on where both of these players are going to be, but how is he going to read this one? He's got 50 seconds on the clock. Is he going to go for that quick first frag and from there play for a plant? Is he going to try and whip through the shadows and head over to the realm that is the B site? So many opportunities, but there is a decision. Gets himself in a main, and through there now looking to decide, okay, do I want to double back here? Do I want to try and play from this angle? And that could be an overthinking or not. The question remains, is he going to get away with it? As he peeks on out, looking still for just another pick on towards JT. That would be the ideal target for him now. On towards Highway, spots him out, but JT too quick on the trigger. Nice and concise, a headshot for him. And Zenix, that was their moment to shine. And they lit up bright, dead set like a Christmas tree, doing everything they need to do. 14-13. Ufrag, they're not out there running by a long shot. They still have the economy to keep on buying. But yet again, now they're feeling the heat, and that voice we hyped up so much.
I think CX are the ones feeling the heat right now. Ufrag, they have nothing to gain from this apart from the money.
Zenix on the flip side. even more so important for them.
This is really important for Xenex. Let's see if they play their heart out. JT with a nice shot there to finish off the round. Hype, we've seen him win the 1 versus 5s. That 1 versus 3 was a bit too much of a tall task to ask. But anyway, utility thrown towards mid, but there's no smokes. So Shani shall face now and see nothing. Once he's seen nothing, he's probably going to rotate. But it's all down to JT and Dancy's at this B-bomb site. No AWP though, so that angle's a bit hard to hold with the rifle. But so far, there's no utility. On the T's, it's just CT utility. And they're both in the same corner. This is looking messy. So tense right now.
Efrag bunched up in towards Checkers. Still that same old metaphor of just a ball of aggression. But how does that extend? Where is that going to perforate as they begin to go for a peek? It's going to be a drive-by on towards JT, a pick from Adam up towards Heaven, and everything is beginning to form into place. Pommy, a pick back on towards Dancy's. Xenex, Pickles, and Peggy, they are their last hopes at this point. As Ufrag, just 2 kills away from getting themselves to 15. Xenex, of course, they have to save. That's a given.
They're going for OT. This is a smart call. You're not going to win that 2 versus 5 retake on the B-bomb side. Instead, they're going to play for the OT, and they need to right now. Only 2 rounds required for them, but it's 1 round for Ufrag to knock, well, not knock them out, but not allow Xenex into the playoffs.
I mean, in all intents and purposes, it is just a clean punch to the forehead, a knockout out of that.
Yep.
Cray is going to at least try and just punish further and further. His life is going to be claimed. Pickles, of course, will look to get away, but he's also being hunted. 1 HP. And there is no weaponry now. The big question is economy.
Oh, God.
I can see those numbers. They're not numbers that I want to be seeing.
The lights are on right now. Production think it's up. Do you think it's over?
Looking at this buy, this is almost just a factory reset for Xenex at this point. They would have to go absolutely huge with these Deagles, and it's just... It's got to be said, there's such a low chance of that happening, especially when you look at the setups they're trying to take right now. They're banking on some aggression towards the B side, but the only ones being aggressive are them on their CT side is Dom. He's hungry, but he's also waiting for it. He's being patient in himself, and this is good enough. JT, of course, going to be looking to hug that box. If you keep approaching this one with a smart head on, they should be able to take this one easily at this point.
A smart head should be one that mollies. Good nade there, expecting where JT is. Molly goes back behind backpoint. Pommy jumping out, spots the player. JT falls. And now the lead is in favor of Ufrag. Let's see if they can keep it. Shenny gets 1, Shenny gets 2! Dancy's though, trying to get the refrag. Yes, he does. It's a 3 versus 2. Adam with the AWP. Cray with the AK. Don't face! What are you doing? Oh my god, the timing is in favor of Dancy's right now.
Stuck in the corner though. This is even more uncomfortable.
Ooh,
Cray
that's an
knocked down
AK.
to 26 HP. A flash is going off, but Adam, he's holding the angle. Or even surprised he doesn't want to try and all-bang his way through this one at this point. He's just going to be pushing up close and personal, taking the fight straight to Dancy's. Oh, he's just debating if he wants to go for the
No,
shot, but he gets the tag, and from there, that's not quite enough. He is going to fall. And
Oh
Xenex, they're in a 3v1. Ufrag, you were right there. You had the setup, you had the read, you knew exactly what you needed to do. But you've only got him through it all away. It's all on Cray. The rifle in his back pocket, but he's
My
going to be dropped dead
goodness.
by Peggy. 15-14.
Shenny is worth his weight in gold for those 2 famous frags. Change the outcome of the game, half, maybe of the season. 15-14, Xenex now. They want this so bad to put themselves into the playoffs. To make it to those LAN finals.
Ufrag didn't need to do that. They had themselves set up. They were waiting for the pushes. If they were just more patient and more concise about the way they approached it, could have a complete different narrative. But off the back of finding that first pick, they thought, you know what, let's push. Let's not realize that if he's playing that close to a box, there's got to be a crossfire setup. That is almost just a basic knowledge at this point. It's just so uncomfortable and brutal to watch because they were right there, right on the cusp of making it work and getting to 16. But now, Xenex, they've been revitalized because they know they can keep up fighting. Adam already knocked out of 39 HP. Dancy's to 37 for himself. Ufrag are looking to readjust over towards mid as they've got that bomb, and it looks like the A site is going to be the target of choice. But can they hold as Cray if he opens that door? Peggy, ready and waiting.
Good call here to head towards A. On Ufrag's side, as Dancy's having the AWP towards B would have caused them so many problems. We saw the last time they went B versus Dancy's AWP, he found 2 frags. Let's see if these Xenex teammates can do the same.
Adam could be so huge in this position. He needs to find both shots. He can't afford to miss. He finds the first, but he doesn't check highway. He's going to pay the price for that. Peggy will take him down. Hype's going to push over towards Forklift. But how is this going to work? They don't have much information now. The CT side forced to back off through the smokes. And things
Pressure's
are going to
on.
begin to run on down, but this pressure is almost certainly going to be on. A retake has to be pitch perfect from Xenex. Dom peeking up in towards Amy and Peggy, beginning to formulate his push through the smoke as well. And it is a rather nice wall for the CT side to work with, but it comes down to who wants to land the shots as JT begins his push. It's a double man set up over towards quad. JT going to keep on pushing up close and personal. He's pre-firing. He finds the first. The quick trade coming in. Gray finds just another on towards Peggy. Peggy will fall. Pickles next in line. Darcy's the last man remaining. And there it is. 16-14. But Frag, you cut that one so damn close. But nonetheless, they do get the win. Again, my heart goes out to ZX because that was an incredible match of Counter-Strike.
Incredible match of Counter-Strike, especially for CEX as they retain their playoff spot. We now know
their
the
hearts
seeds.
Must be pumping for that. It's gotta be said.
We know the seeds as well. So FM, first seed. Obviously, we saw the 2-0 Kaz earlier. They shall play versus CEX, and then it will be Endpoint versus Kaz.
It's going to be some very exciting matchups. Of course, that is going to be taking place in the playoffs this weekend, and we'll bring you all of the action live from the studios. But you know what? Before we disappear, let's talk about what we just witnessed, because I feel like if we don't, we're doing an injustice not only ourselves but the people at home, because that was a roller coaster of a match.
I mean, the ball was in Zenit's core right there. The retake is so difficult. The utility wasn't too strong. You saw what happened. They pushed individually. When I saw JT found that first frag towards quad, I thought that was it. I thought he had it. But the problem was they stacked up towards quad. And that refrag from Pommy really did change the round. And Frag, Adam typed in chat, still feels like a loss to him. But the problem is, it definitely feels like a loss for Zenix as they are knocked out of the playoffs. And we shall not be casting them on the weekend. Instead, we're going to be casting CEX. So, preview the weekend. Who do you reckon is going to take the first initial matches on Saturday?
I actually discussed this with a couple of people, and I pretty much came down to the conclusion that as much as looking at individual matches is great for a predictions basis, the big question is who's going to come out from playoffs, who's going to make it to the finals,
basically,
right?
Yeah.
And when you look at all four of those teams, I know there are certainly varying opinions on who is better per se and who has the advantage, but to be honest, I feel like all four of those teams could make it. All four of those teams could turn up on the day. CEX, they could bring one.
But we
hell
don't know
of a
who's
fight
going to turn up on the
and
day for CEX, do we?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see who their fifth is going to be, but it comes down to that same point at the end of the day. Anyone could turn up from any of those teams. They're all players that could pop off and go absolutely huge, and that's what makes this season of UK Masters Playoffs just that extra bit exciting.
So, 3 p.m. Saturday, 3 p.m. Sunday. Make sure to tune in for that, because we will be bringing you more UKCS and those important playoff games. But for us, and so far this season, 7th week, the final week of UK Masters Season 2, we'll be saying goodbye. And we'll see you on Saturday.
Imagine a typical gaming headset. Take that image, light a match, and blow it up. That's what we did to create Arctis. We challenged everything to create our new gaming headsets. We added our award-winning speakers found in $300 headsets to every model in the Arctis line. And our new Clearcast mic? It's so good, we used it to record this video. We invented new athletics-inspired airweave fabric, the most comfortable material ever developed for gaming. It's time to reset gaming. Rise up.
All Alright, so a while back I sold out to Game, who paid me money and gave me a load of free stuff just for mentioning their deals on my channel. Well, Game have decided to offer the same sweet deal to any other gamers who fancy selling out to them. All you have to do is go to this website, fill out a form, and then their marketing people will be in touch, or something like that. In my opinion, you should all do this. That's just my opinion.
Systems down.